charge. Hey, yo, Buffalo, you're gonna love this one, Satna. Nah, I lived in a lab making this joint. Hours turned to days until it was perfect. Bill's Mafia in the house. It's the Queen City anthem, built on grit and grind. Buffalo style, yeah, one of a kind. Snow falling heavy, but the fire burns bright under them stadium lights. The Mafia ignites, we hold it down, loyal through the pain. Every snap, every hit, it's the charge we sustain. From the fans to the field, it's more than a game. It's a family, a legacy, remember the name.
Charge up the field, let the crowd take flight. Buffalo's heart, shining so bright. Feel the energy under stadium lights. Bill's Mafia strong, it's the charge tonight.
Yeah, we hold it down. In the 716. Let's go. From the tailgates lit to the thunderous sound, you can feel the passion when the Bills come around. It's a blue-collar love, built tough and true. From the heart of the city to the red, white, and blue, we bring that heat, even in the cold. With every drive, another story unfolds. It's Buffalo pride, yeah, the Mafia way. Under them lights, we making plays. You feel that? That's Buffalo pride. Every fan, every play, this city rides. We built this together. We'll never fall. Bills Mafia forever. We answer the call. Through the highs and lows, we stay in the fight. Buffalo strong, yeah, the future is bright. Charge up the field, let the crowd take flight. Buffalo's heart, shining so bright. Feel the energy under stadium lights. Bills Mafia strong, it's the charge tonight. Yeah, we hold it down. In the 716. Let's go. Let's go. From the tailgates lit to the thunderous sound, you can feel the passion when the Bills come around. It's a blue-collar love built tough and true. From the heart of the city to the red, white, and blue, we bring that heat, even in the cold. With every drive, another story unfolds. It's Buffalo pride, yeah, the Mafia way. Under them lights, we making plays. You feel that? That's Buffalo pride. Every fan, every play, this city rides. We built this together. We'll never fall. Bills Mafia forever. We answer the call. Through the highs and lows, we stay in the fight. Buffalo strong, yeah, the future is bright. Charge up the field, let the crowd take flight. Buffalo's heart, shining so bright. Feel the energy under stadium lights. Bills Mafia strong, it's the charge tonight. Hot on the mic, bringing it straight from Western New York to the world. This is Charge with Thomas and Sterling. Bills Mafia, stand tall and proud. We got this.
Yo, 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 what is up? Happy draft day, NFL draft 2025. Oh man, it's like Christmas all over again, but it's April. It's April. For football fans, it's a glorious day, man, and it's going to be a great day for Buffalo Bills and Bills Mafia all around the world. I am joined by my host, Thomas DeLaus, TD, and we got a special guest tonight, Mike Bundt. Mike, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Can't wait to talk about this draft and really excited to see what the Bills do tonight.
TD, what's good with you, man?
Bro, I broke out my best blazer. Looking real nice. You know what? We wait all year for this stuff. It's 365 days. We wait for this every single year. I'm not sure if there's any NFL fan that doesn't find this to be one of the most exciting days outside of like the NFL season. It's really like hope springs eternal, right? Like your team finally, you can look and say, like, maybe this is the clean slate. You can find positivity in picks, and then watch the Jets and Dolphins piss it all away again. So excited. I'm pumped to see what the Bills are going to do. There's, I said this before, and then I don't know who I heard it from. I heard it from a couple different people. This draft may be one of the most wild drafts because outside of Cam Ward in the number 1 pick, I think it's all up for grabs, and nobody knows what's going to happen. Oh, it was the Bears GM, Ryan Poles, who's from Canandaigua, right down the road from me. He said himself, this might be the most wild draft because there's going to be so much movement, because the fact that everybody has everybody graded differently. Somebody might have somebody graded 10 that another team has graded 26. So the variance is going to be wild.
Yeah, I mean, this is as exciting as it gets, and we hear all the time like this is the most important draft that Brandon Beane's going to have each and every year, but it does kind of feel like Josh Allen coming off an MVP season, as we all know, you've really got to get some hits here, and you got 10 picks. You got the second most capital of any team in the league, right? You got to make some really good moves, and it's I think this will be the most difficult draft. If I had to assess a draft, I think this is probably be the most difficult draft that the Bills brass, outside of drafting Josh Allen, have come across in this era. So, Mike, man, what are your thoughts? I mean, there's a lot of rumors swirling around. I mean, it's crazy right now. Give me some thoughts on Brandon Beane and his assessment, and what do you think the team is looking to do tonight?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of different potential avenues they could explore. I think after the season ended, everybody was thinking it has to be defensive line, whether it be a tackle or an edge. And as time goes on, that still feels like a need, but maybe a little bit less pressing than corner after you go into the season with some questions opposite of Christian Benford. Now, you have Trey White back. You brought back Dane Jackson. But do you really feel confident in either of them starting the season as your number 2 corner? Probably not. So when you look at it from my perspective, it really falls. It really comes down to how this draft board falls. So if you get to pick 30 and you have 3 or 4 great corners left, and you think maybe one of them will drop, and maybe you can make a move to get one of them, maybe you go after the best D tackle available and you wait on corner. If you don't like what's there at D tackle, I think you snag the best corner, and then maybe you get an edge or somebody later in the second round. There's so many different ways of going with this. But if I'm Brandon Beane, my number 1 priority is getting a defensive back, and definitely getting someone that can start right away for the team.
All right, so I appreciate that. So real quick, before we're going to give a little rundown of the show tonight, shout out to AJ. AJ is one of the nicest guys you ever meet, man. Super cool dude. Amy
AJ, what's going on,
Amy in NH, New Hampshire? I don't know. Nobody is talking openly. Beane's first Super Bowl of the year. So we welcome all the chats. We're going to be doing a jersey giveaway. So you got about 15 minutes to put your picks in. Okay. So the whole idea is to pick the Bills pick. So like if you think it's going to be Jahdae Barron, or you think it's going to be Will Johnson or Kenneth Grant, you only get one submission. And we will be picking a winner tonight based off of who enters the drawing. And then we will buy you a jersey of that player or a player of your choice on the Buffalo Bills. So we'll be doing that tonight. And then tonight, we're just going to go through pick by pick. We're going to sprinkle in Bill stuff as it comes. I mean, we've heard the Bills kind of being rumored in a lot of things tonight. This is a draft party. This is informal. This is not podcast form. We are here just chilling. We're chopping it up. I might eat a burger. Mike might go to the bathroom. Like, we are here to hang out because we got 3 hours, at least 3 hours. And guess what? The Bills might not even pick tonight. So it's a party, folks.
Don't even put that bad juju. I was at the draft last night.
Listen, I don't want that, but I have to throw it out there because last year we were up all night, on our respective shows, and nothing happened. So we got to throw that out there. But hopefully a pick is in the works tonight. Maybe Brandon Beane and the Bills brass decide to leverage some draft picks, some capital, some player. I mean, who knows? I mean, I just think because the Bills are so hushed as always, we have no freaking clue what they're actually thinking. We can sit here and we can speculate and we can put our 3 brain nuggets together, but at the end of the day, Brandon Beane's pulling the trigger and we have no clue. So with that being said, Mike, I really appreciate what you had to say. Let's talk about safety. I mean, TD, you and I talked about this last week, was it? And I said, hey, I know a lot of people in Bills community are talking about the Bills don't need a safety. And you and I kind of agreed, like, the Bills need a safety. They need a safety with a higher ceiling. And all of a sudden this week, you're seeing mock drafts come out with some heavy hitters saying, hey, the Bills are really looking at Malachi Starks. What, and both of you guys, give me your opinions on that. What, is Malachi Starks in play tonight at 30, or are they going to trade up, or what?
I mean, I'll say this. Brandon Beane has made it very clear that he's going to do whatever it takes to get the best player available. Okay. And I don't, we don't really ever know, obviously. He said he had 12. That was a rumor, 12 first round prospects. Obviously, after the draft, Brandon Beane can use that to his own liberty, right? Yep. Like he can have liberties on that and saying, oh, he was one of my first round players. We'll never know if that's true or if it's not true, if it falls into place. But when it comes to safety, and I talked about linebacker with this too, they've got Taylor Rapp for 2 years, and the GM, Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott have spoke glowingly of Taylor Rapp, and then Cole Bishop, right, going into his second year, finally, as you would expect, barring any injury, a full off season to really kind of get himself dirty into the playbook, work with the entire staff, and understand his role as being the starter this year, instead of not having OTAs, not really having a training camp, and then getting thrust into action against, the Houston Texans in week 4 and really getting exposed, which, of course he had his work cut out for him. So we're talking about this. You have Malachi Starks, who by all accounts is the best safety, a guy that can play corner, can play box safety, can play free safety. I mean, really a jack of all trades, kind of like, Kyle Hamilton for the Baltimore Ravens, a guy that provides a lot of versatility to a guy like McDermott, who loves to disguise coverage, really giving him some, pre and post snap looks to quarterbacks. That's a guy that's going to help them a ton. So would Brandon Beane get a guy like that? Listen, I'm going to say this, and I'll say it all night long, and we'll probably talk about this, later at different points. I don't think there's any player outside of like offensive tackle, running back. Like, I think if Brandon Beane really finds somebody that he thinks is going to make an impact on this roster, he's not going to hesitate to take them. If it is the best, like in all reality, right? If Michael Williams falls to 30, he might take Michael Williams, right? Like if you get, for whatever reason, something comes out and Travis Hunter's a giant pothead and he falls to 30, Brandon Beane will find a way to take Travis Hunter, the wide receiver, at 30. So I don't think there's a player outside of a few positions that Brandon Beane is going to pause at. I think it just all comes down to value proposition, what's going on, who else is on the board, and what the rest of the team says. Because one thing he said in his press conference is it's not just up to him. He pulls the entire team, and it's really a collaboration of minds.
Mike?
Yeah, so the way I look at it is kind of similar to what Tom just said. We can argue about how talented the Bills are at certain positions, but there's really only one glaring hole on this entire team, and that's corner. And if you look at any other position, you can question the depth, you can question the top end ability, but if they don't go corner at 30, safety should absolutely be a possibility if Malachi Starks is on the board.
Thank you.
He will probably be one of the best players available at that time if he's still around at pick 30. That's why I'm not really feeling strong opinions about any direction that they go at during this draft. Right. Yeah, D tackle is important, but at the end of the day, whoever you draft at defensive tackle is going to join a rotation and not even going to play a high percentage of snaps. If you get an edge, you might get a more talented player than other positions, but you already have Joey Bosa and Greg Rousseau. So where are the snaps coming there? At safety, it would indicate that there is some concern in the room when you have Rapp for 2 more years and you just drafted Cole Bishop as a day 2 pick last year. So that might be some of the, if they don't go that way, maybe it's a little bit hesitant to to signal that to a room that has returning starters in DeMar Hamlin and Taylor Rapp, and could stunt maybe some of the development of Cole Bishop. But Malachi Starks is too good of a guy to really pass up there. I'm with you, Tom. If they went any position outside of running back, offensive line, I really wouldn't be surprised. like those are like really anywhere on defense is a possibility, I think, tonight at 30. Yeah. The only spots really I don't think our needs are offensive spots. The only true position on offense where you could maybe take a chance and get somebody at 30 is if one of those talented receivers fall, and the likelihood of the Bills going all in when they already have Samuel, Palmer, Keon, Khalil Shakir, I don't think that's likely. So safety's as good as any of the other options available.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of, like, when they say you don't go to the store hungry, like it's kind of like, we know the Bills have a lot of B+ talent on the roster. Like, they have a very solid contributors to this roster, but sometimes you go to the store and you're like, man, like, I got this, this salt in here, and I need some Himalayan salt because I need to beef up this. I know white folks, y'all don't season shit, but I'm telling you, sometimes we got to go in here and we got to get some real seasoning. You know what I'm saying? So I think you have to try to do your best to try to get blue chip talent, or get the highest upside that you can possibly get. And it's one of those things where we've seen in the Brandon Beane regime of this roster construction. We saw it with Josh Allen and Tremaine Edmonds, that draft, right? We saw it where they tried to double dip with Russo and Basham. I think we're at a precipice now where they go and they say, you know what? We got to take this roster to the next level the best we can. So if we swing and miss, that's okay. I mean, it's okay. You have Josh Allen. You can take a swing, right? Go out there and get the best player you possibly can. I love Kenneth Grant. He's my guy. I would love the Bills take him at 30. Would I rather have Malachi Starks? I don't know. I mean, it's a toss-up. Would I rather have Will Johnson or Jahdae Barron or what? Insert blue chip player, right? I feel like, those are some, not just blue chips, but they're very close to it. I think the Bills got to change their mindset, and they got to go and they got to attack in this draft. And I don't think just sitting there at 30 or if there's players available there, but trading out of the first round, I don't know if that's the right play. I mean, you're a couple plays away from representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. Like, you got to go for it, man. You got to go for it.
I'll tell you, I'm intrigued to see how the board shakes out. I mean, the quarterback situation is going to be interesting. The news on Shador maybe falling out of the first round. Like, I know people talk about it, but Bills fans should not be happy about that news. Like, Bills fans should be hoping that 5 quarterbacks go in the first round, that 9 offensive tackles go in the first round. We want as much potential talent getting pushed down. So hopefully that changes, that teams get antsy and want to kind of jump back up into the first. But as of right now, I'm really intrigued as to how this shakes out. This board's going to be wild tonight.
All right, so real quick, the Giants are on the clock. It is official draft time. It is go time, fellas. Our hopes and dreams are going to be realized in just a few daunting hours remaining tonight. Before we do that, I want both of you, okay? Because y'all seen the TikToks where they're like, oh my God, here's me with my first drink. It's gonna be us when at like in 3 hours. We're gonna be on drink number 8, and we're gonna be probably shit-faced here, having a good time. So I want your coherent thoughts. I'm gonna start with you, Mike. Who are the Bills gonna take tonight? Maybe not at 30, maybe they trade up, but who are they taking? Who is that guy tonight?
Yeah, this is all guesswork because who knows who's going to be available at 30. I can't get this feeling out of me that it's going to be Trey Amos out of Ole Miss, the corner. Talented player. Last year was at Ole Miss, Alabama. Before that, started his college career at Louisiana. Talented guy. I hope Bills fans don't get this fear like, oh my God, another first-round pick from the SEC. Is this going to be another Kaiir Elam situation? But there's a lot of upside to what he brings to the table. I think you can get him at pick 30. Couple other names I would look out for if they do go the cornerback route. Maxwell Harrison, the corner out of Kentucky. I think he's an intriguing player. And then Revel out of East Carolina.
Okay.
I think he probably would have been a top 25 pick if he didn't tear his ACL during last season, but reports say he'll be ready around training camp. Maybe having Trey gives yourself a little bit of time to ease him in to things with the Bills. So I'm going to go Trey Amos, but we'll see. There's a lot of different directions.
TD?
I had gone into the last couple days convinced myself that corner was going to be the route, right? And for good reason. But I think Brandon Beane has kind of convinced me otherwise, that maybe they feel like they can wait till the second round, maybe pick 62, maybe get a Darian Porter, a Jacob Parrish.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they feel like Trey White is good enough at this point to float the ship alongside Dane Jackson and a rookie. That maybe, and I've said this before, and I tweeted this out earlier, Brandon Beane is a chameleon. He is the type of GM that wants to mimic what people have done and find success in. And if you watch the Super Bowl, the Eagles won in the trenches. They won with that incredible defensive line with Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter and Josh Sweat. I mean, they had so much talent. I think they're going to go hunting for, I even said earlier, a big boy. And if they can get themselves, my guy, if we can get Kenneth Grant, I know you're wearing those Michigan colors. If we can get close to Kenneth Grant, if they feel like they can get in striking distance, don't be shocked. Don't be stunned, because that's the type of guy that is literally changing. Ian, if you want to go ahead, and Goodell is about to go on the mic, go ahead and put him the audio on so we can.
Come on! Okay, welcome to the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
So we got Roger Goodell up there with Yeezy.
People said
Very nice.
that Green Bay was too small for this, with a population of 107,000. But we have over 125,000 people here and still counting.
Sounds like Goodell might be a little sauced already in the first pick.
Obviously,
right there, just
Green Bay may be small, but it's mighty.
right there, just confirmed to me. The Bills are definitely getting the draft.
Thank you all for welcoming us here tonight, and hope you have a great few days.
Doesn't Goodell look like he's just going to go do a line of coke after this? He's just going to sniff 3 lines. He can care less.
Okay, Goodell, let's get going, buddy.
Look, they muted him. See, it's wonderful. Look at
Over
this.
the next 3
shit.
days, we will welcome in the next generation
Dan
of
Orlovsky
stars
just
into
tweeted
the
out,
NFL
fireworks are coming.
and bring hope to every NFL team, and we may have a few surprises for you tonight. But first, let's hear from some of your Packer greats. Please welcome Clay Matthews, Jordy Nelson, Mason Crosby, Amon
Yeah.
Green,
Sure, that's
Yeah,
fine.
because he ain't saying shit.
James Jones.
It would have been great if they had Aaron Rodgers as Packers.
Packers super fan, Lil Wayne. Okay. I didn't even know he was a Packers fan.
Bro,
I don't think he knows he's a Packers fan.
Man, I'm just like, I don't want the frills. Just make the damn picks. Like,
Yep.
I can care less. And it's probably cold as shit in Green Bay. Let's be honest. Like, TD, you and I talked about going, and I was like, oh, it was probably cold. And the hotels are probably $1,000. Mike, you could have come too if you wanted to.
1,000, probably more than 1,000.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Everybody always says Buffalo's too small for the draft and that it's too cold in April. This draft right here is in the smallest place possible that they'll ever have a draft. And in Buffalo today, it's 76 degrees.
See,
like,
it's actually 53 there right now. It's 53 degrees. It's not too bad.
Man, Clay Matthews dropping the Trump on there, huh? It's bold. They're bold tonight. Good Lord. Just get on. Start the damn clock. I'm just ready, bro.
Can I just say one complaint? It happens every year. If
Yeah.
you're the first pick, how the hell do you need 10 minutes? You had literally all year to figure out what the hell you were going to do.
That's set up. That's set up by the TV.
Bro. Well, if you left it up to my wife to make a pick, then this is what you get. She wouldn't know what to do. It'd take forever.
All right, it looks like Tennessee is officially on the clock, 9 minutes and 40 seconds and change. This is brand new GM. So Callahan's still there, but brand new GM. Be interesting to see. At this point, obviously, you've got Cam Ward, which is pretty much the locked-in pick for them. Quarterback from the U, a guy that I think, by most accounts, I'm a Syracuse fan, so I watched a bunch, and Mike's a Syracuse fan as well, so he's had his chance to watch a lot of Miami games. What do you guys think about this pick with Cam Ward going to Tennessee?
I think it's a good move. I mean, you're kind of, if you don't have a quarterback, you have to take a swing here.
Certainly.
I don't think there's much difference. And I'll be honest. I know, Shador has interviewed poorly, but when you look at pure football, like there's not much separating them. I don't think that Shador or Cam Ward are A+ home run caliber talents. Right. I think they're B level, and you hope that you can get more out of them. Think of, maybe slightly better versions of Kirk Cousins. Like, and that's not a slight against him. So I don't think this is a home run hit, but I think you have to take a swing here. Cam Ward is probably your safest bet at number one. You've tried the Will Levis thing. It didn't work out. So I'm okay with the pick here. I think they should make this selection. I don't know why they're waiting forever, but what do you guys think about that?
So I'm with you about him being a B prospect. If I was Tennessee, I would hate having the number one overall pick right now, because this is a guy that's going to have massive expectations that most likely won't live up to them. And will he be good? Yeah, he'll probably be good. I don't think Cam Ward is going to be a bad NFL player, but when you see the guys that have been drafted in recent years that have had instant success, like Daniels in Washington, you raise the bar. And does anybody think that Cam Ward instantly makes the Tennessee Titans a contender in the AFC? And the answer is no. And it's the same with Shador. Like, is he a good prospect? Yeah, he's a good prospect. But these are both guys that in other draft years I wouldn't even probably think about in the top 10. And because quarterback is such a need, you have a team that has this prime capital, and they're going to end up taking probably a B+ prospect over generational talent in Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter. So this is one of those, I feel bad for them, because there's better players out there. And that's kind of my thought of this entire draft. There's a lot of B talent, not much blue chip A+ talent. A lot that seems to be the consensus. You can get a good guy at pick 50. You can get a good guy at pick 20.
Right.
You're not going to get an A+ guy at pick 5 or 6, which kind of is odd when you go into a draft.
This is the kind of draft where you hope that your infrastructure is A+, because you're going to take a B talent and you have to do every freaking thing you can to get the most out of them. And so I think, there'll probably be a couple guys that come out of this draft, could be Hall of Famers if it goes to the right team, the right place, the right infrastructure to get the most out of them. We'll see what happens, but the odds of that are probably 10%. I mean, you got a couple guys. I mean, I don't even know if Abdul Carter is, yes, he's the best, probably the second best player in this draft, but I think there's a lot. I mean, I think there's a lot of unknowns still there, right? Travis Hunter doesn't want to commit to one position, right? So you look at it and it's just like, man, it's a tough draft, dude. It's a tough draft.
You know who the perfect spot for Travis Hunter would be? The Bills.
Oh yeah.
It's funny because it would be perfect, because right away he can focus on corner, and then you could slowly get him involved at receiver because you already have 4 established guys ahead of him. And it would be kind of the evolution, like, okay, you got the corner thing down. Now we can get you more involved with the offense, and we can slowly bring you in. If he gets drafted by Cleveland or the Giants, I'm going to be a little worried about Travis Hunter.
Right.
Because he's going to let's be real. Him going up against Jamar Chase, do we think that Travis Hunter is winning that battle? It's one of those things where like he's elite because he can do two things on both sides of the field. But is he the best of the best at corner? Is he the best of the best at wide receiver? I don't think the answer is yes to either of those. Is he very, very good at both of those? Yes. But if you're going to get drafted at number 2 or number 3 overall, you're hoping that he's going to be elite. So if a team drafts him and forces him to stay at one spot, they better hope that he's elite and not just draft him because he played 2 positions in college.
Yeah. And the expectations, I mean, if we're being fair, like I think most people in this draft, like we've said, there's not a ton, and actually the pick is in. So in a second, we're going to jump right over to Goodell's voice, but we know that there's not a ton of blue chip top end talent. The expectations for Travis Hunter, especially some of the verbiage used about him, he's been paralleled to Shohei Ohtani. People talking like this is a future Hall of Famer. Like the expectations for him, for Travis Hunter, are through the moon. And if he doesn't live up to that, man, that's crazy, especially considering, man, I got to ask you guys real quick, what's your thoughts? What do you feel about his if I don't play both, I'll retire? How does that sit with you guys?
It's a book right out of Deion's playbook. It's the demanding and entitlement, the player era. It's like he took a page out of the NBA's player personnel book. Like, I get it. It's about positioning and lobbying because at the end of the day, you are your best asset, and but football is such a team sport, man. And I love Travis Hunter, but I don't like that he said that.
We got to trade, folks.
What?
So I don't know if you guys can hear me. The Cleveland Browns are trading the number 2 overall pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's a number 2 overall pick, the fourth round 104 and 6th round number 200 in exchange for 5, a 2nd round number 36, 4th round number 126, and the 2026 first round pick. Here we go.
With the first pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cameron Ward, quarterback, Miami.
There you go.
All right, so they made their pick. Look, I can't be mad at you for that. You have to get a quarterback. I mean, you can wait till next year. I probably would have traded the pick, to be honest. I probably would have drafted Abdul Carter or something. But I'm not a GM. But I am interested in the Browns. Always seem to fuck something up, and we'll see if they did the smart right thing.
Quarterback is in play for the Browns.
I don't. It should be.
They basically just said no to Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter.
Yeah. And you know what's, Mike? It's funny you say that because, your boy defensive end Myles Garrett was like, oh, yeah, we got plans. Like, motherfucker, what plans do you have? Like, if y'all doing that, they tell you that?
Well, how's Deion going to feel if Shadur Sanders ends up being a Cleveland Brown?
I love it.
Bruh, that would be hilarious.
Like, Deion's been talking like Shadur's not just going to any random, place. It would be the most Cleveland-like move if they ended up with Sanders.
Bro, we'll give Cleveland some credit. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt here.
Maybe a different direction. I don't know. But if I'm Jacksonville, that's Travis Hunter's coming my way.
I think you have
to. Absolutely.
Travis Hunter, right? And Brian Thomas Jr.
That's
a fun offense.
I'm thankful for one thing, that Travis Hunter is not going to be a New England Patriot.
Thank God. Well, it's the Jaguars. They do drink different water in Florida, so we got to we don't know.
That was my biggest fear. I did not want to see Travis Hunter in New England.
I'll tell you, talk about a big move for brand new GM down in Jacksonville. Yeah. Talk about not being scared. James Gladstone He's not just dipping his toes in. That guy's just jumping straight in the goddamn water. Good for him. And there you go. There's the official trade. The Jacksonville Jaguars are trading the second overall, or are trading the 5th overall, second, number 36, 4th round, number 126, and a 2026 first rounder in exchange for that 5th or that second overall pick. That's a big time trade.
I don't like that. I don't like it.
They also got a 4th round and a 6th round in return. So
what's that gonna do? That ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah,
well,
but
you're going down 3 spots and you're picking up a 2nd round pick. They're basically what they're saying is whoever they want was going to be available 3 picks later, and they just got a 2nd round pick on top.
And now they got another 1st round. So if they want to next year, they can move around the board to go get whatever quarterback in 2026 they want.
Yeah,
and
it's like
you have to
Manning.
think if they got Jacksonville's, maybe they're banking on the fact Jacksonville won't be that good.
Yeah, if you're the Browns, you have to do that. You have to do that if you're Browns. Getting that 2nd round pick and another 1st round pick. That's and let's be real. Travis Hunter in Cleveland was going to be. It could create issues. The way that organization is run, how they find a way to mess everything up.
Yep.
I didn't like the fit for Travis Hunter there. I thought Abdul Carter, as much as I love him, you just signed Myles Garrett to that monster contract.
Right.
You need to get help at other positions. And if the Browns selected anybody but Hunter or Abdul Carter at number 2, it would have been chaos.
Right.
So,
right. I mean, what are the Jaguars going to do? I mean, they got pass rushers, so they don't need that. You didn't have to do that for Mason Graham.
They're going to sell tickets. They're going to sell tickets for Travis Hunter.
It's Travis Hunter. It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be. Right?
Jerseys and ticket sales.
And I get it. If Travis Hunter is a generational talent, like he has the ability to be, but what player do we know has played 2 positions at a Hall of Fame level or an elite level? I can't name one. You can't name one.
Memory. I mean,
right?
Deion had one season where he was a good receiver.
Yeah.
And outside of that, he was mostly
I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it. And I love Travis Hunter, man. And I hope maybe he narrows down on one position. But that's
Travis
a lot
Hunter's
to
got to
give
be
up.
happy as shit. He just went from Cleveland to Jacksonville, Florida. And then talk about that. You got James Gladstone and then Mr. Duval.
Oh, right.
Good old Liam Cohen. I'll tell you though, Liam did a great job in Tampa. Now he's got a nice offense, right? Yeah, Tank Bigsby, ETN, Brian Thomas Jr., Parker Washington. Now you would assume, we'll see, but you would assume Travis Hunter.
I just don't know how
nice
he's
offense.
I just don't know how he's going to be if he does both positions.
Right.
Say he focuses on one position and he plays corner and he ends up being an above average elite corner. Like I take that. But what if you are 80% of the player you are if you're at corner and wide receiver because you're doing both? Is 80% of his max capability on one side of the field worth it to have him on both sides of the field? Some people will say yes. On a bad team, yes. On a good team, I don't know. Can you imagine a critical moment for the Jags? They're playing a team to try to clinch a playoff spot, and it's a final drive. You put Travis Hunter in that corner. He's playing his 60th snap, his 70th snap of the game or whatever it is, and he has to shut down a top-end receiver. Are you feeling confident that he has the gas in that moment against the best in the world to make the play? I don't know if we have an answer to that.
But I will say this, and we got some more info from Jordan Schultz. Trades are just starting, ... I'm happy Travis Hunter's going there because I didn't want to see another career go to die, right? Like bad quarterback situation in Cleveland. And I'm not a huge Trevor Lawrence fan, but I like him a lot better than anything Cleveland has presently. And now you have a much better, like Jacksonville's been much better organization in terms of like where they're going. And I feel a lot more comfortable with James Gladstone and Liam Cohen, but we've got Roger Goodell. So Ian, go ahead.
To celebrate the 32 young men entering the NFL, I'm honored to take a moment to recognize a player who's made a profound impact on and off the field. The Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, recognizes one player each year who best represents greatness and compassion.
Eric Armstead has
both
got
on and off the
a
field and in
humongous
the
head.
community.
How they make helmets
Tonight,
that fit
we
the
are
size of
proudly
that dude's
joined by
head
the
is insane.
2024 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year.
Not only is it like
Eric
huge, but it's
Armstead.
long. He's got like just a ginormous head.
First off, Duval. I want to say thank you to the commissioner. Thank you to the Payton family and the NFL and Nationwide.
Yeah, when he said Duval, he lost me. That's the worst chant in football, I think. It's do is what it is. Like, if you've been to Jacksonville, ain't nothing to do over there. Ain't number wild crackheads running around. Like, I'm good.
Just like Denver.
No, hey, now that's only downtown. That's only downtown.
Okay, I think he's making the pick, Ian. Eric Armstead's the one making it.
The Cleveland Browns have traded the second pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And with the second pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Travis Hunter, wide receiver, defensive back from Colorado.
All right.
There it is.
There it is.
Travis Hunter's got he has got a mouthful of teeth. Good for him.
I love it. He does, though.
Yeah, he got a big old mouth of teeth.
He's
got like one of that, like Mr. Ed. He's got like a
he's
Mr.
like
Ed
right
mouth.
now. You know what he's saying? I'm not going to Cleveland.
Yeah.
I'm not going to Cleveland.
You know he don't want to be in the cold. He done spent a couple years in Colorado. You know he's trying to get up out the
I haven't
cold.
seen a player this excited not to be drafted to a place in forever.
Good for him, man. Good for him. You
You
know,
know what I will say about Travis Hunter, and this probably doesn't get talked about enough because of his position. He was the top rated recruit in his high school class, either one or number two, depending on where you looked. Followed Dion to Jackson State to play at the FCS level because he wanted to model his game off of one of the greatest of all time. And to go to an HBCU and actually like forego going to like a traditional power like Alabama, Auburn, like Ohio State or any of those. I'll say Michigan too to make you happy.
hey, thank you. Thank you.
Like, that really tells me something about him. So I am excited about this guy, and I do believe he has a bright future ahead of him. But that also I think deserves a lot of praise as well because he went through a less than traditional path to get to where he is right now.
Yeah, and all the respect to Travis. I mean, and I think, you know, you got to shout out Deion Sanders too, because at the end of the day, people can say what they want about him, about how he handles certain types of things. But when it comes to being a leader of men and actually trying to help kids out of the ghetto become better men and better citizens, like Deion is one of the top guys to have a voice in these young kids' lives. And if you guys know Travis's story, Travis has a really rough upbringing. And to attach himself to Deion because he wanted better, man, that is a great decision for him. And it's worked out. I mean, he already had the talent, but, you know, submitting yourself to a guy like Deion Sanders is one of the best cornerbacks to ever live. And to put a school like Jackson State on the map, that's huge. Mm-hmm. And going to Colorado and resurrecting that program. So shout out to him. And I hope all the best for him and Deion and all those guys, man. I think it's really cool. But now, the Giants are on the clock, and they got about 2.5 minutes left. And can we officially say the NFL draft has started now? Because we have no idea what the New York Giants are going to do. Joe Shane, Brian Daboll, we've heard quarterback kind of be tossed around for them. I don't think quarterback is in play here. I think the rumors are true. They are trying to get back in the first round in the later half. So, who are they going to pick right now? Is it Abdul Carter?
I mean, you'd have to think so, right?
Doesn't it have to be Carter right now?
It should, but it's the Giants.
See, this is where I feel so bad for Shane and Dable, but I also think like they did it to themselves in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
They're still paying the price for the stupidity of signing Daniel Jones to that extension after that playoff.
Yep.
They would have been so much better off if they just had a horrible first season and did what the original plan was, which was to get a quarterback at that point. And then every one of these years, they fall in a spot where they're a pick too late to get the quarterback they want, or it's a draft with a weaker quarterback class like now. And I don't see how they're going to get any better anytime soon. They keep their jobs, but I don't see how Dable and Shane survive another season unless their owner is extremely patient and just keeps giving them second and third and fourth chances.
Yeah, you'd think that, like, okay, pick a quarterback here because that kind of buys you another year, maybe, right? But I don't know, man. Like, we don't know what that relationship is with John Mara. Is that who their owner is?
Yeah,
we'll
and
see,
and then you have the clip from last year where he's like, I would really hate to see Saquon Barkley go to the Eagles. And then he goes to the Eagles and then wins the Super Bowl and has a 2,000-yard season. It's just everything has been backwards with the Giants for the last 5+ years. And I don't know. If they get Sanders, does that make you feel any more confident? They already have Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston right now. So it doesn't seem like quarterback would really make sense at this point.
Yeah, I think it's Abdul Carter. They got to not play around. Just get the best player they can possibly get and maybe trade back in the first round and get Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe. I mean, that's what they're thinking about. But you would think that, Jim Mara grants them another year to kind of figure this thing out. Maybe they can get, one of the Manning brothers or, offspring. But yeah, it's got to be Abdul Carter here. Quit playing.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for them to set whoever the QB is. And even, let's say they in the back half of the first or even the top of the second, if they're able to get Jackson Dart. Oh, go ahead, Ian. Oh, and we missed it. It was Abdul Carter right there.
All right, Abdul Carter. Ian,
if you ever see that coming on, just cut us right off. Just jump right to it and don't even worry about it. Yeah, I think it's great. Like I said, you are now setting this team up for success. Kayvon Thibodeau, which maybe they'll trade. I've heard, floated ideas of using him as a trade chip. But Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, that's a great situation on the defensive line alongside Dexter Lawrence. Yeah. And on the offensive side, you already have Malik Neighbors, who's one of the best young wide receivers. An offensive line that's on the build. You've got, what am I blanking at? What's their running back's name?
Neil?
Tyrone Taylor?
Tyrone Taylor? Wait.
Yeah.
Is that his name? I don't know.
Tyrone Tracy.
Tyrone Tracy. Purdue wide receiver, turn running back.
Right. So they've got a ton of I would say the Giants are in the right direction. Like they are going in the right direction. And I'm glad because I think Dable deserves a chance. I think Shane deserves a chance to right the ship, get it in the good situation. Part of me wonders if Mara was the one that wanted them to extend Daniel Jones and put them in a bad position. So maybe now they have the opportunity to right the ship, get the quarterback they want, whether it's this year or next year. So excited. Looking forward to this team.
I guarantee you Mara did force Daniel Jones on them. But at the same point, that's a tough one. Like if ownership tells you got to do it, then what do you say back to it? Like no, this is horrible. This is a bad idea. It's going to set us back. But they just come off a playoff season. He had shown some progression. It's a tough situation all around, and especially when you're a first-year head coach, first-year general manager, you don't really have the voice to speak up against your owner in that situation. But, guys, I actually have to hop out for a little bit. I will be back for the teens. I have to do some other stuff with Trainwreck for a little bit. But if you guys are good with me coming back, I will definitely be back for the picks and the teens if you guys are okay with that.
Absolutely. Yep. When you come back, you can stay here as long as you want or as short as you want, and we'll be here till the Bills pick.
Sounds good. I'll be back in a little bit, guys. Okay.
Oh, yeah, Mike, we'll see you in a bit. Everybody. Joe DeRosa will be joining us, I believe, momentarily. So we will have a third at that point. But Yeah, what a start to this draft,
Yeah.
Squirrels. You know, we talked about this wild already. You've seen one big time trade out of the number 2 spot. Browns setting themselves up for next year. Jaguars setting themselves up with one of the best young talents coming out in Travis Hunter. Now you got Abdul Carter going to the New York Giants. What happens next? Does New England go ahead and do exactly what they said and take Will Campbell?
Yeah, I mean, the offensive line needs to be a big priority. I mean, you know, you got your quarterback, right? So it's not like you're in dire needs of trying to figuring something out. You got your quarterback, you know, you got a new coach that's really good. You got some defensive pieces in free agency, so forth. I think it's time that you get, you know, your offensive tackle so Drake May doesn't have to run around with his head cut off all the time. And that would be the best thing to do. But we did hear, you know, rumors about them looking at Genty and so forth. And I just don't think that's the play here. It's not something that I do, but yeah, I think you do the respectable thing, the smart thing, you know, with your assets here, and you take offensive tackle, the best one you possibly can. And who that is, I mean, sheesh, best tackle on the board. I mean, obviously there, you know, I probably have to go with Will Campbell. Probably is, to me, is your top tackle. And don't mess around with this pick, New England. But hey, if you want to get a punter or kicker, or you want to take Josh Connerly here, that would be great. That would be so awesome. So
when Goodell comes, just go ahead. I will say the one name that I've heard is rising up draft boards is Calvin Banks. Great leader, really, really, really good dude, and super talented. So we'll see what happens. It should be Will Campbell, but I mean, Will Campbell, Armand Membu, like I said, Calvin Banks, lots of guys. Or there's also talks. They were also interested in Ashton Genty. Does Ashton Genty go to the New England Patriots? And does Vrabel get a running back like he did in Tennessee to lead that offense with the young guy? So go ahead, Ian,
Patriots,
if you want to.
in.
Yeah, if when Goodell comes on the stage, go ahead and shoot it over.
At least they're doing. Hey, at least they're not taking forever making the pick. They're like, we know who we want. We're just gonna do it and move on.
Yeah, love it. They're moving. It's only been a half an hour. We're already 4 picks in. I think it was last year? 4 picks. It was 9 o'clock already.
Jeez. Hey, right now in Colorado it's 6:35, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, the draft will be you can still go to bed at a normal time. I'm gonna be going to bed at like 11:30 tonight. Speaking of Strohs, are we going live tomorrow? Is that the plan?
I don't know, man. I gotta talk with the lady.
Okay.
I'd like to, but you know, it's kind of our night to chill, our little date night, or we go to church, either one. So, we'll see how tonight goes. Because if the Bills don't pick, I'm just gonna have to tell her, hey,
go ahead, Ian. Hey, we got Joe DeRosa, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know this handsome face, this is Joe DeRosa from Cover One.
Great to see you guys. How we doing?
Hey, good, man, we're just chilling, bro. Thanks for joining us on the show tonight. I'm sure you got other stuff that you could be doing, but you're hanging with us, so we appreciate it. Thoughts on the first 3 picks, man? Like, it's been a freaking roller coaster here. Were you surprised that the Jaguars made a play for Travis Hunter and gave up next year's first?
Giving up next year's first, I definitely was surprised. I did not think it was going to be that extreme. Just because of, again, like you're going from 2 to 5. I figured, second rounders, pick swap, and maybe some late capital. But with this move in general, it's not surprising. You got a new GM who wants to prove himself. You have a young coach that's taking over an offense. You got a receiving core that has Brian Thomas Jr. And you have, the emergence of options like Brenton Strange and Parker Washington. It's an offense that I feel is very ready to kind of get out of the rut they've been in and help Trevor Lawrence further. And this is the move you could have made. So I honestly love it for the Jaguars, and I love it even more, especially after pick 3, because now the Patriots get neither Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, which is just great news.
Right.
So I'm very pleased with that. But yeah, I'm just happy we got something in the first round, guys. I'm just happy we got a trade.
Yeah, right. And hopefully there's many more trades. I've been pinning everybody to the wall here. It's about the Bills pick. You're Brandon Beane right now. Okay. Who you taking, man?
Yeah, that's such a loaded question.
I know, right? I know.
It's so hard because I've said numerous times there's like 100 paths this team could take. They could go DT, they could go corner. I'm going to give two answers. I'll start with the unsexy answer, which is it depends. That board is going to fall a very specific way. And given the fact that we've heard Bean is linked to either trading up potentially with Pittsburgh or moving back, it's just going to depend on who falls within the 20s range for them to feel comfortable moving up. If you're asking me, though.
Oh, here we go. Hold on one sec. Roger Goodell is walking up. Go ahead.
Is in the process of being made in Vegas.
With the 4th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Will Campbell.
There it is.
LSU.
So the Patriots decide to go.
Expected.
Dude looks like a used car salesman.
That's a suit.
It's something like it.
Yeah.
Biggest night of your life, and you look like you sell used cars for Danny DeVito.
Right?
I won't lie, though, the white sneakers, it's a good compliment. I'm glad he went with the white sneakers pair with the mint green pinstripes. This is a
very,
fit. I don't know.
very Italian mafia fit.
Did you see what Abdul
now.
Carter was wearing?
Oh, he was straight from the trenches, baby.
I'm not saying anything.
He is over here, by the way.
I was gonna say he looked like he was just like he came from Saudi Arabia. He had like one of the full garbs on right there. Like he almost went like past his kneecaps. That was
with the grill and everything.
Yeah, certainly enjoys.
Yeah,
but the white sneakers with the suit is it's a fresh look.
It's a bold move. I like it.
Yeah, I think sneakers with the suit is a great choice if you can get the right sneaker pairing. Like I've always been a huge fan of that look. Like you go with like a blue blazer, blue pants, white sneakers. It's clean.
The thing is, he didn't dress himself. Somebody helped him make that decision. Somebody helped him. But hey, they're getting a hell of a football player. Will Campbell, athleticism, can get to the second level, strong at the point of attack, really smart kid. I think the Patriots did the really smart thing here. Now, the damn Browns are on the clock. Okay. They did a really smart thing in getting another first round pick. Trade back again. How many are there any more blue chip? I mean, verified blue chip players, Joe, Tom. I don't think there is right now.
No.
So if you're
maybe Ashton Genty, maybe they take Ashton Genty to replace Nick Chubb.
I wouldn't do that. Okay, that's the last blue chip player, but I don't think I'd do that. I'm just not a fan of taking a running back that early. I'm just not.
I'd argue Mason Graham, but I don't know if the Browns are going to go 3-tech here. I'm actually really curious because people were like equating this trade to when they traded with the Falcons for Julio Jones, but I think this was a savvy move from Cleveland, just because again, like they're not a Travis Hunter away from being anything really in my eyes. I felt more like the player going there to die. Again, not a diss to Cleveland, but the roster needs work, and I like their receiving core. I felt like with the current state of their quarterback room, I was way more okay with them moving on from Hunter and just trying to stack capital. But that's kind of my mentality in general. I have no idea what this team's going to do right here. They could go. Genty would be fun if they wanted to maybe go for like what's his face, one of the edge rushers.
I would love it if Chicago, who loves Ashton Genty, jumped from 10 to 5. And Cleveland bounced down again because they could potentially get another first-round pick. You go from 5 to 10, have 3 first-round picks next year. That's one way real quick of restarting your franchise in a real hurry.
It'd be awesome. It would be. I mean, in Cleveland, they're such a dumpster fire of an organization. That would that would ignite their future big time. And they're already talking about getting a new stadium. Trying to figure all that stuff out. I mean, I think it'd be a great move. But if they pick Shador here, oh man, Lord have mercy. Every good thing we just said about them is out the damn door.
Dude, Will Campbell is getting interviewed, and he was literally welling up with tears. You gotta love to see that. Gotta love to see it.
Yeah, man. Kid cares. Love it.
Don't get tears on the sneakers, Will.
Oh, Cleveland's pick is in. They are ready to go, man. Rocking.
Are we gonna have tears?
Loving the pacing of this.
Maybe Mason Graham. I don't know. I really like him. And it's another player that wouldn't go to the Jets either. I want all my AFC East counterparts to fail. So keep good players away from them. And don't mind me looking left. That's
Will
where my screen
Campbell's
is.
nose is running too. I mean, he really let it loose.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just sick.
Sick of having to play Josh Allen twice a year.
You
I'd feel
guys
that
should
way
consider
too.
maybe he just has like a flu but didn't want to miss it.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's a trooper. You know, he ain't calling out.
Oh my goodness. I'm locked into this. I
Dude,
also just
my TV is right next to me, so I'm looking as well.
yeah.
The Browns. The Browns.
I just I can picture so many different things for the Browns here, and I just
What, Joe? What if they paired, Massage Watson with Isaiah Bond? What if he's the pick here?
Oh boy,
God.
he ain't going here.
Oh Jesus.
Massage Watson.
Massage
Yeah.
Watson's crazy. That's
crazy work. Crazy work.
No, watch him take Jackson Dart.
Right? Oh my God! In the
I
Cleveland
would.
way.
I think I'd have to I don't even know what my reaction would be, but when we talk about Sanders, it's just oh wait, hang on. They're picking.
They took
Okay,
my
Ian.
guy.
Don't say it. Let's hear it. Go ahead, Ian.
The Cleveland Browns select
Mason Graham.
Mason Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan.
Wow. Browns fans.
That's pretty great. Moving back from 2 to 5, getting Mason Graham and getting a first-round pick next year. Mason Graham next to Myles Garrett.
Oof.
That's
pretty damn
on that
good.
line. Oh,
What-
dude, that's
Listen, what you get out of Mason? He's a technician, man. He is. People. It's funny in every draft class. It always feels like the top talents they just get nitpicked. And we've seen Mason Graham kind of get nitpicked lately, and he's a damn good football player. I really do think he's a 6'7", 8 sack guy in the NFL perennially. Point of attack can play one, can play the 3 if you need him to. Former wrestler, kid out of California. Mason Graham is my guy. I've been watching him for years in Michigan. He's such a great talent. He's going to be a great locker room guy. You need that as well, right? He's a guy that's going to come in and grind. I think it's a great move for Cleveland, man. Put him next to Myles Garrett. So, you're taking pressure off of him, right? So you're going to see a lot of one-on-ones and stuff like that. So I think it's a great move.
Yeah, they're a pressure-savvy defense, and just when you fortify your interior, which I think is just one of the best things you can do in general, that's just constant pressure, especially when you have the rotation of Garrett to be able to kind of go on the inside if you want to get him in a one-tech spot, or even just if you go with a wide line, you have a lot of flexibility. I think Mason Graham was just the right pick because that's just an instant floor boost for that line, which I already thought had a lot of potential. And, it just pressure packages when you have a disrupting 3-tech and you have a disrupting edge rusher just become all the more potent, all the more impactful. I like it. I think people were bagging on Cleveland again for that trade back, but this to me can do more for them. Not because I think he's a better player than Hunter, because that's not what I'm saying. Hunter is the best prospect in this class. But I think just in the context of the Browns defense, he makes a ton of sense. And he's going to do a lot for them. And receiving core wise, you saw what even half decent pass play last year did for the receiving core with Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman and all these players in Njoku. Hunter would have been great in that, but this is you traded back, got a haul, and you got a stud 3-tech. This is I like it for Cleveland.
Yep.
So what do the Raiders do now? The rumor was Ashton Genty. Do they take Genty?
Absolutely. That it's very Raiders to do this, to take Genty. They're gonna.
I'm so sorry. Please continue.
No. They're gonna put all their eggs in one basket with Geno Smith, which I don't think is a smart move. But they're gonna take Genty here. I mean, that's what they're gonna do. The Raiders way. They say they look at their needs and they go, you know what, F those needs.
Yeah, I think Genty's probably the safe pick for them as a pick 1-1 in my dynasty league. I really hope it's not. I would rather him go to the Bears, but I have a gut feeling it's T-Mac. I have a feeling it's Ted McMillan. Yeah, I'm so high on Ted McMillan. I think people are overthinking the hell out of that player. I think the frame is ideal. He's not slow as dirt like people have kind of made him out to be.
Right.
I know he had like a bad 40 time at his pro day, but the kid wins at the catch point. The kid has the large frame to go up against undersized DBs. So if you align him out of the slot, you can do a lot of damage with that. Post catch ability isn't the greatest, but it can be developed with that strength he has. I like him a ton. And when you talk about the Raiders and Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers, like think of him as an ancillary body in that receiving core. And I think you're going to have a ton of success. And Geno is longer in the tooth. You just paid him a ton of money. Give him as many weapons as possible at this point, man. Like load up on that offense because I don't think you're far away. And you're in the beginning of the second round. You might have Omarion Hampton or Caleb Johnson fall. Like go get a running back then. Get the receiver now and just feel good about it. But it's probably Genty. Like it's
probably Genty, and you know, Ashton Genty's fit in this Raiders offense. I mean, I think it'll be good for them, and they got some nice pieces on offense. I would like for them the rest of the draft to kind of focus on the offensive line. I mean, they got holes everywhere. Like you're not going to fill it all up in one draft, but Genty here, we'll see.
What do we got?
With the 6th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select
Ashton Genty.
Yep.
Running back, Boise State.
You know, I know you said the Bears, but they're going to run his ass into the ground.
They are. The line concerns me. I just wanted him to go to the Bears so bad. I wanted that Ben Johnson pairing, but
I know
they both need offensive line help, both these teams, and hey, well, I mean, it's a safe, like you said, Joe, it's a safe pick here. We'll see how it works out. Okay, so is that the last blue chip player that was taken?
Yeah, you have to think maybe.
You think Membu is a blue chipper?
I think he is a stud. I think he has a lot of potential to be a really stout tackle in the NFL. And it's another player that I think, to be honest with you, I don't know why he wasn't considered the best. I just really like him. I like his frame. I like the measurables. And I think he's going to be a stalwart tackle if you get him in a good offense. And I think that's where the Jets go. I think the Jets are going to go for him here. It just solidify the line.
Watching his tape, it just, I don't see the play strength, and I don't know if his technique is not the best right now. Like, I mean, there's obviously some refinement that needs to be there, but I just don't think he plays well through his hands. I think it can improve. So I don't know. Maybe if it's a technique thing, maybe his play strength isn't where it needs to be. But so I don't know. That's why I don't have him necessarily. I like the measurables, but I don't know. We'll see what NFL teams think of him. But no, I get what you're saying about Membu. I mean, yeah, you look at him, he walks off the bus, you're like, holy shit, like that's a guy right there, right? Like,
it's measurables, man.
Yeah, he looks like he comes straight from Wakanda, like born and raised in Wakanda. So
that's kind of it for me. Is when I look at any prospect, I know like there's no such thing as a perfect prospect.
Right.
It just isn't. Like it's always a crapshoot. So to me, it's like, what do you have that I can bank on being something one would make you a stalwart player in my offense / defense, whatever. And also like how realistic is that curve? Because I can see traits in people, but also like if we're talking freak athlete, but very minimal experience at the position and didn't look good at the position, then like whatever. I thought Membu looked good at his spot, but also has those traits to develop, again, just like the athleticism, the frame, where it's got to be, he's got to get developed well. Maybe the Jets are the team. Maybe they aren't. We don't know what the new coaching staff can do. But I see a future of this guy just being, again, an absolute stud for those reasons. And if it's not there yet, it can get there soon. And like, it's the same conversation with Campbell, like who just went to the Pats. Like everyone's worried about the short arms. Is he actually a guard at the pro level? But he's played beyond his arm length his entire career. So like you could say, despite the measurables, there's something there to work with. And it's like a vice versa. So like, if you're telling me this guy is good enough at his position to play well, he's not fortified, but he's good enough, and he has that, I think the development curve is still way ahead of him. And I think he can be a really good.
TD, talk to me about value, because I think if you're taking a guy with short arms as a top 10 pick, I think that's concerning. Like if you're talking about, oh, this is 15, this is 25, this is early day 2, I'm like, okay, like the value kind of meets there. What are your thoughts on that, man?
I think it comes down to scheme fit, and if you value the player enough. I mean, there's a couple guys in this draft that the measurables are a little bit off, but remember, I mean, there's been guys in the past that have had measurables that were undesirable, but ended up being really, really good talents.
Sure,
Right.
sure.
It all just depends. If, it all comes down to the tape, right? The tape doesn't lie. And Membu's look really good this year. I mean, he was really, really good. So as long as that translates, and if that's what the Jets are doing here, obviously we don't know, and the pick is in. If that's what the Jets are doing, which is a smart move, we'll see. Maybe they take Tyler Warren, which would be very Jetsy. But you just need him to be the guy in the right tackle for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's it. He doesn't have to be perfect, right? He really doesn't have to be perfect. And to be honest with you, it's kind of good because Justin Fields is not going to he's not a stationary quarterback. He's going to make Membu's job a little bit easier.
Yeah.
So in that situation, Membu's going to have time to really kind of grow into it. And again, if it doesn't work, Membu easily could slide into guard. He is absolutely built like a guard. So
well, guess what?
I don't think that's crazy. And guards make good money too now. If you look at some of the guards, they're making $20 million a year.
The structure has to be in place. So did Aaron Glenn put the right structure in place to get the most out of his players? We're going to see what the offensive structure looks like. I do think, though, having a quarterback like Justin Fields, I'm not a fan of Justin Fields. To me, he hasn't done anything in the league. But again, we're talking about a career. We're not talking about just 1 year. But I do think those early years, I think they matter. So, I mean, I like Glenn as a head coach. I mean, he's we'll see what he does, right? I mean,
I will say there is one name that I heard earlier that just don't be surprised. Apparently, Aaron Glenn loves Jalen Walker. So
Jalen Walker's a good prospect.
Yeah, even though they've got a lot on that defensive line, they got Jermaine Johnson. They've got Will McDonald. I've heard that Aaron Glenn has a huge voice in this room. So take that for what it's worth.
Okay.
That's what I saw earlier today. We'll see if that's actually true. But I think it's interesting if that adding more to that defense couldn't hurt. But that Jets offensive line has been atrocious for years.
Yeah, they need a tackle.
So you would think that would be a number one.
Membu will probably be the best choice here. But Jalen Walker would be the highest upside that you could take at that point.
Yeah, and I think too, because I originally thought Mason Graham would fall to the Jets. And I was like, a 3 technique like him next to Quinnen, next to McDonald and Jermaine Johnson would be awesome, especially if you maintain a 4-man front and go pressure heavy, which Aaron Glenn likes to do. That would be an awesome group, but that's not what you got. So if you want to still go with that approach at a different position and go rotational hell, Jalen Walker's the guy. That would be an awesome group for them. But I just think it's time for the Jets to make the smart decision and fortify the OL. You're getting nowhere without that OL being intact. And they tried patchworking it the past couple of years. It never works. It just you look at this bill structure and how much they've worked on their offensive line from when it was a problem on the interior a couple of years ago. And it's one of the best in the league now. And it's at a point where teams are probably going to try to mimic that in your own division. They have Fashanu, Tittman, Vera Tucker, go get the tackle. Just do the smart thing. Even if you have concerns over what does it look like at the next level, is he, maybe even though he has the frame, like you alluded to earlier, the play strength isn't totally there. We don't know if it can be. Just get it.
Yeah.
Just do it. You're not going to find a better option really at any point in my eyes. And this is just your time to finally solidify it and make Justin Fields' life and Breece Hall's a lot easier.
Who they just said that he's been Josina Anderson reported that he's been open to trade for a week and a half now. Yeah, blank canvas, build him up, man. Take a guy and freaking build him into the monster that he can be.
Who we got?
Okay, here we go, buddy. Let's see what the New York Jets are gonna do.
With the 7th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select
Armand
Membu.
Smart move.
Right pick.
All right.
Right pick.
Good pick. Good pick. Good pick.
He sucks. I hate him. Everything I said was a lie.
Hey, we ain't worried about him. We ain't worried about him.
I love his dad's outfit, bro.
Hey, bro, I'm telling you, I told you where they come from now.
That was
where are they from?
He's
Wakanda, baby.
Fashanu and him, and again, you got that interior. They built up a good top line. Now they just got to add depth to it. But
I mean,
it's on Justin Fields now.
If you told me the Jets were going to suck this year and they're going to have a chance to get a top quarterback next year, that's the perfect pick for them. You know, what's their ceiling? I mean, first year head coach. I mean, you really can't put too much stock into them being actual contenders for the division, right? So get your tackle, see what happens this year, and put yourself in a position to get the quarterback that you need, because Justin Fields ain't it. But the Panthers are on the clock. I don't. My TV says the pick is in. I don't know. I'm watching ESPN's.
Dude, they're flying
here. They are flying.
8 picks in an hour.
Yeah, Roger Goodell's going to have to intervene and slow it down somehow.
Who are the Panthers going to take?
I don't know. I mean,
what do you do?
I keep seeing about defensive line. They could use another weapon. Ted McMillan would be great, but I wonder, is he redundant to what they already have? Offensive line could be interesting here. I think there's a multiple different ways they could go. But the one I kept hearing was either Jalen Walker or Michael Williams. Was the name that people kept saying, that the two names linked to them.
Yeah, I mean, you got rid of Brian Burns. I mean, you could use another pass rusher. You already have a good interior player on defensive line. So yeah, man, get some more help at defensive end. I do like the idea of getting a wide receiver here too. Tech could be in play, but I think the smart move here is to get an impact player on defense. Michael Williams would be nice. Jalen Walker would be nice here. And I mean, talk about the Panthers, man. I mean, we were all laughing at the pick or just what their quarterback looked like last year, and then middle of the season, I mean, he turned it around. And that, I mean, if you're a Panthers fan, you got to be thanking your lucky stars, man, because it did not look good for a while. You seeing CJ Stroud last year just lighting it up, and Bryce Young, kind of got it together after they sat him, and he's the guy. So you got to be happy about that if you're a Panthers fan, man. Keep the momentum going. I don't think you can go wrong with getting a receiver here. You can't go wrong with getting a defensive player here that's an edge player. So we'll see what the Panthers decide to do.
Bryce Young looked so much more composed and confident after being benched. And I'm usually benching is usually a kiss of death. But in this case, when he came back, it was just a confident deliverer of the football, but also accurate and no limitations to his arm, which I thought was really cool. Like, he was throwing some dimes down the field. He doesn't have the best arm strength in the world, but he certainly has enough to work in the pro level. And just seeing some of those dots down the field, I would love for them to go T-Mac. I don't think they do. I think they go for one of the Georgia DNs, but it's
the Panthers.
It's just Panthers.
That would be a perfect wide receiver for Bryce.
Well, yeah, you got a big body, so I mean, just let him go up and get it at this point. But I like Bryce Young a lot. I was kind of worried about him the same way last year, but what he looked like when Canales and him started clicking, and they had the running game going, and their OL is good. They put a lot of work and investment into their offensive line, and it's starting to pay off for them. I think you just keep Bryce clean in the pocket and let him get a deep drop, and he can compensate with arm strength that's good enough, and getting him weapons is key. But Jatavian Sanders, get the resurgence of Adam Thielen, who had an awesome year last year for them.
Yep.
Adding T-Mac.
And Chuba Hubbard was really good too.
Yeah.
Chuba Hubbard had a real nice year for them.
He'll be good again because he's going to be their starting back, considering that they lost Brooks for the year.
Well, and they signed him to a 3-year extension too. They gave him some pretty damn good money. So, I mean, that is certainly telling the NFL that Chuba Hubbard's the future. So we will see here, though, what they're going to do. I'm really intrigued. This draft has been the Jets did exactly what you would expect them to do. The Raiders did what you thought they were going to do. But outside of that, it's been kind of all over the place. It's been very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, now, I think after the Carolina pick, I think the Shedeur Sanders clock starts ticking. There's been rumors about him going to 9, and then you've seen him going at the end of the first round, second round. So I think that's something to keep an eye on. But I am all in favor of the more tackles and quarterbacks that you can teams can start taking, the better. That means talent's going to fall. Let's talk about the Bills for a minute before this pick comes in. I mean, we're kind of seeing between all of us, we've done 100 mock drafts, right? And I mean, you're starting to see some of the guys that we like for the Bills there's a good chance that they might be available in the 20s, and maybe Brandon Beane can move up. Real quick, does don't give me Kenneth Grant. Don't give me, another defensive tackle, Derek Harmon. Like,
I was going to Joe.
Who's
That's
the guy?
Joe's favorite right there.
I know. Who's the guy that you think could potentially fall in that 25 to 30 range that the Bills could, really be interested in?
Jahdae Barron.
Jahdae Barron. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
If I'm thinking realistically, though, I don't think Barron's making it to the 20s. There's no flags on him. He's just a pure tactical DB, and I think a team's going to value him quite high. I could see Will Johnson falling to the early 20s because of the medical red flags.
Yeah, that medical stuff. They're saying could drop him out of the first round. Daniel Jeremiah didn't even have him in his
wow, that's crazy because Will Johnson is a freaking baller. Like,
oh yeah, he's
here
the
we
best
go,
corner
Ian.
in this class.
Yeah.
Eighth pick is in the Carolina Panthers, and here's the commissioner.
With the 8th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the
Joe, you're a
Carolina
wizard.
Panthers select DeRosa
Ted McMillan.
Hey, man, I love that. People
There it is.
overthought this pick so much. He's going to fall to the 20s. No. Like, listen, if you put him in last year's class, I don't think he's number one, right? And I still think in this year's class, Travis Hunter was the better receiving prospect. He's also 6'5". He's over 200 pounds. He runs a 4.5. Why was there ever... You were talking about it earlier, the fatigue of analysis and people overthinking it when we talked about Mason Graham. It's happened with him to a point where I'm like, you put him in the offense where he's an ancillary piece and you have separators and slot receivers, which the Panthers, if you have Thielen play at that level again, they have it. He's perfect for them. I love this pick for Carolina. I think he's going to be a great receiver in this league. And I hope he's a boost for Leggett too, because if that project blossoms, this Panthers offense has a lot of talent and could be very dangerous.
He's a playmaker. And, I comped him to AJ Green or Brandon Marshall. I think he's a
AJ Green's a great comp.
Yeah, I think he's about on par in terms of route running with AJ Green. I do feel like AJ Green was a little bit more pro ready. There's a little bit more nuance to him. But I think, Ted at the catch point, bro, I think the jump ball's back in, baby, and Ted's going to be that guy.
I'll tell you, the guy I thought that Ted reminded me of a lot is Vincent Jackson.
Oh, I like that. I like that comp.
Yeah, I've seen people comp him to Devontae Parker, and listen, even though the career didn't totally pan out for him, I love the profile.
Devontae wasn't nearly as bad as people made him out to be. He was
Devontae
just in shit situations.
He was
with
a
bad
great.
quarterbacks.
Devontae's a great freaking athlete, though. Like more fluid.
Shit, you put Devontae Parker in that Carolina offense in his prime, like it's still a pretty good receiver.
Hey.
Again, this is a guy that I was always rooting for. I loved him at Arizona. Like I love what he was doing. I think he just plays with a lot of confidence, and I think it always is like majoring in the minors when you're talking about a player like him. He's not a speedster. He's not a speeding separator. He's also huge, and if you just want a 50-50 guy, he can do that. That's a world I'm comfortable living in at the goal line. And also, like, if he's a goal line specialist, that's fine. Like, it really is fine. You don't want that at pick 8, but if that's what he is at worst, good for Carolina, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, they made a commitment to their quarterback, and they got him some weapons. Like, you can't be mad at that. Take a shot, man.
Nope.
Next up, though, the New Orleans Saints, man. Like, what is going on with this franchise? You fooled around and you gave your running back another contract. Like, Alvin Kamara is nice, but is he that nice where they paid him again? Like, I just don't know about that. You don't have
the same team that kept Dennis Allen for far too long.
Yep.
So
You don't have a quarterback. You need help on the offensive line. Your tackle situation is rough. Yeah. Defensively, you need help. Pass rusher here. I'm thinking, man, like you got to go get a pass rusher. Mike, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah. I'm doing good. This draft's been interesting so far. A lot of things with the Browns trade, but can't wait to see what the Saints do here.
So Joe nailed the Tet pick with Carolina here. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to give first shot. What the hell are the Saints gonna do with this pick?
Oh, I wish I had any clue. I'm not a draft expert like Joe here, but I want to see what they end up doing at some point because I know quarterback is something that has been rumored to them, but 9 is a little bit too high.
These guys are moving. The pick is already in. I am loving this pace tonight.
The draft should only be an hour. Like, it really should. I hate waiting till 10:30.
Give them 3 minutes. Be like, listen, that's it.
Yeah, don't overthink it, man. Just make the pick. Roger.
They're just making it shorter so Roger Goodell isn't absolutely fucking plastered by the end of the night.
Roger Goodell.
Each year's tolerance goes down a little
TD,
more.
I'm gonna give you a chance. Who are the Saints picking, man? Tackle? They're gonna go tackle here?
Okay, so here's my thought. You have I always get this mixed up. Is it Cameron Jordan, right? It's not Jordan Cameron. Cameron Jordan's the Saints guy.
Cam Jordan.
I feel like they need somebody to replace him. I think he's going in like year 15 or something like that. I gotta think maybe they're looking for a defensive lineman. A Jalen Walker would be a perfect, like, a guy to learn from Cameron Jordan.
Okay.
I think some type of defensive end, I mean, even James Pierce. James Pierce would be a lot of fun to pair with Cam Jordan
here.
It is, but dude is the second best pass rusher in this draft.
Okay.
If they feel comfortable and like Cam Jordan's the guy, if you're going to trust him to anybody, Cam Jordan's the dude, right?
Yeah.
That's the other thing. KL mentioned that in the chat. They just traded Lattimore. Do they go corner? Do they go Jahdae Barron here? That's another great shot.
That would make so much sense.
I think you go offensive tackle, man. Go get a Kelvin Banks and just like prepare the way for your quarterback of the future. You don't have a direction. I think, you take a premium position here. Go tackle. Get one of the tackles. I do say a tackle because they need it, and it'd be nice to have all the tackles come off the board for the Bills. Push the tackle.
Where are you?
Yes. I'm in parts unknown.
Oh, you still haven't even announced where you're living. Okay.
Pick in the
Here's Roger.
2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select
Nailed it, Sterling.
Kelvin Banks Jr.
Hey.
Nailed it.
There you go, Sterles. Good call.
Nailed it.
They need it. They need it. And, they, for the first time in Saints history, they didn't fuck it up.
Nice crying. That's awesome.
Oh, mom's crying. Calvin's crying. Family's crying. Love it.
Someone wearing a shirt that just says the pick is in and it has his face on it. That's so cool.
Got it at the mall.
He's from Humble, Texas. I'm surprised Sean McDermott didn't trade up for this guy.
Right? Good for them, man. Another tackle off the board. Was that 3 tackles now, guys?
Yeah, it's great for the Bills.
We're great for the Bills.
Yeah, that is 3.
Down. Okay, so TD,
what?
you've been loving the Bears this offseason just with their position here. Genty's off the board. They still need offensive line help, but I could totally see them going for an impact player on defense. So
do they need offensive line? They really locked that line up. They brought in 2 different guys.
Tooney.
They brought in Tooney. They signed the guy. They did a pretty nice job. I know they were interested in Genty. I think that's out of it. I know they really liked Mason Graham for that defensive line. So, I mean, I think it's a little early for Kenneth Grant. I think it's probably 20 picks too early for Kenneth Grant, if we're being fair.
Sure.
I don't know. This is a tough one right here. Here's the thing. You just signed you just brought in Ben Johnson, the guy, the most hot named offensive coordinator turned head coach of the last decade, right? Are you going to go get a defensive player? Is that what you're going to do? You're not going to get an offensive weapon for him? Does Omari and Hampton go right here? Does Travion Henderson go right here? Do they go and get Tyler Warren to line with Cole Kmet? Maybe they like
Colston
Loveland, or
That's
maybe they want to get maybe Matthew Golden. They lost what's his name back to the Chargers. Maybe Matthew Golden playing in the slot for them, or maybe they go Emeka Abua. There's so many options right here. I think Tyler Warren is a terrific option.
Go Colston Loveland, as you say it, because you went tight end. I mean, Colston Loveland, 6'6", bro. The stats are going to fool you because he played with shit quarterbacks in Michigan outside of JJ McCarthy, but at that time they really didn't throw the ball that much. So
okay, here we go, Ian.
Okay.
I don't think this is
Wisconsin. That's right, Colleen. The schedule release marks a pivotal moment in the NFL calendar.
Let's listen to this because I want to hear what this has to say.
Thrilling season. Yeah, this is when we get to geek out over every single game and bye.
Are they going to announce the first game?
Time revenge and rematches. those late season divisional dates that end up deciding playoff spots. And who's playing at Lambeau in December? Ooh, we're going to have to find out. You'll find out soon, okay? How about these rookies, the players who are drafted here tonight? When and where do they make their NFL debuts?
Are they actually
announcing
like a game or something?
Let's not forget the expanding lineup of international games as well as Christmas,
They're probably just gonna
Thanksgiving
announce
Day.
when they're
There's
gonna
so
announce
many
this
captivating matchups. It's the best.
Yes, because nothing says holiday cheer like watching your team destroy another.
So, without further ado,
That girl on the right's
everybody,
eyes are
get it
super
together,
far
mark
apart.
your calendars, set your alarms.
Laura
The
Button's
schedule
just hot,
will
though,
be
bro.
dropped on.
Dude, she's got one eye on each side of her forehead.
Don't
May
care.
14th.
Don't care.
There we go. Lock it in. We can't
Is
wait.
that later than
Tweet
years
it out,
past?
Tell everybody.
No,
and
that's the
don't
same
miss
weekend
it.
every
Be sure
year.
to check out all
It
the
is?
great content
Yeah.
from the NFL team sites, the club.
Why did I always think it was
Dude,
like end of
her
April?
eyes are so far apart. That is unbelievable. She could literally cross the road and look both ways at the same time.
Yeah, it's peripheral vision.
She is peripheral vision.
I know,
That's actually
right?
her name, peripheral vision. Okay, let's see what Ryan Poles did. Rochester native, my hometown. Ryan Poles went to Canandaigua High School.
He's taking Sean Doak.
Yes.
Well, the schedule release will stream on ESPN.
Oh, this guy's outfit is horrific.
Booing so loudly here now, and that is because the Chicago
Mike, I had to throw
Bears
you a
have just
UB
been announced as
reference.
on the clock.
I
In
love it.
fact, their pick is already in.
About
There
4 or
is
5
no
rounds too early, though.
in any
After this, guys, I do want to talk about the linebacker stuff that we heard in regards to the Buffalo Bills. I want to hear what you guys think about Carson Schwarzenegger
And so these Packer fans will boo.
or linebacker in
Here we
general.
go.
Okay, here goes Roger.
Here comes Roger Goodell to announce Chicago's selection at 10.
Yesterday, the NFL family
I got drunk.
lost a true
Today,
legend,
I am also drunk.
Bears Hall of Famer Steve McMichael. My heart is with the McMichael
Mongo.
family during this incredibly difficult time. Misty, please know that you are in our thoughts and prayers. Mongo's remarkable contributions to the game and the community will never be forgotten. His legacy will continue to inspire generations to come. 50 years ago, with the 4th pick in the 1975 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears selected one of Steve McMichael's teammates and closest friends, Walter Payton, running back, Jackson State. Walter would go on to rush for nearly 17,000 yards and 110 touchdowns over 13 seasons.
He rushed for
all with the Chicago
17,000
Bears.
yards.
That's insane.
As you heard earlier, the NFL continues to honor Sweetness
Is that real?
not only for his performance and excellence on the field, but also his commitment to give back to his community with the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award. So with the 10th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Colston Loveland.
You guys are on
Hey,
it.
Hey, I'm killing it right now. I ain't gonna lie.
Or before
Colston
Tyler
Loveland.
Warren.
Yeah, you've been on fire, Sterling.
he's not a
Yeah,
blocker, man, but he is easily the best receiving tight end. Dude is smooth.
Yeah. You know, you talk about, I think Colston Loveland is everything the Bills wanted Dalton Kincaid to be. When Brandon Beane at the press conference said think of him like a wide receiver, Colston Loveland is that and a good blocker. You talk about,
in fairness, we got to be, Dalton had one of the greatest tight end seasons for a rookie ever.
Sure.
And this past year, he was dealing with some shit. So
yeah, he don't do
I
that.
think we
though.
got to see what he does this year.
He don't
before
do
we-
that.
I don't know, man. He's done some pretty awesome stuff for us so
Bro,
far.
I'm just telling you, man. I think Colston Loveland's that guy. If you want to compare the two, he's a better route runner than Dalton Kincaid, right? He's a better blocker, especially at the point of attack than Kincaid. But I think it's a great move overall for the Chicago Bears. And, you give your young quarterback a weapon, right? big body, can go up and get the ball. I think he's got some good speed too. And he's a football crazy nut. I mean, they talk about this dude just never leaving the gym. Like, he's in there all the time. So Jim Harbaugh, love this guy. I thought if he didn't go here, I thought he probably go to the Chargers. But good for him, man. He's top 10, 2 Michigan Wolverines in the top 10. I'm happy tonight. So yeah.
Love it.
Got Niners pick in too, and I think it's probably defense. They need it. They lost so many pieces.
Yeah, they got to get one of these Georgia pass rushers, bro. I don't know which one they're gonna get.
Or do they go, because they did lose Dre Greenlaw? Do they go ahead and get Jahad Campbell here?
You think that's a little high for Jahad Campbell?
No, I don't think so. You line him up next to Fred Warner. Now you're talking about one of the best linebacker tandems again in the NFL. They also need a safety. Taloa Hufanga is gone. But again, I think defensive line is huge. They need a ton of help. So I think, again, Jalen Walker is a great option here.
Yeah, edge rusher makes a lot of sense.
All right, I'll go Mykel Williams. You go Jalen Walker. I go Mykel Williams, just because I think it has to be one of these two. One of these two Georgia pass rushers have to come off the board. Like,
I'll go Mike Green just to give you a third edge rusher.
Okay, Mike Green, Mike Bundt. What do you got?
At this point, I'm just going with whoever you're going with, Sterling. I'm not even going to try to compete with you. I can't win this battle. So,
Sterling, if you get this one right, I'm going to ask you for tomorrow's lottery numbers too.
Dude, dude, I've done over 100 freaking mock drafts, and I don't know, man. Just evaluating these players and trying to, it's a crapshoot. Like, nobody knows. If I would have known I was going to do this, and I would fucking bet it, right?
See, here's the problem though. Sterling's in Denver. He's 3 hours ahead. He's already known the picks.
Right. I have a time
machine. That is the shittiest dad joke ever. I apologize.
I have a time machine, TD, and then
you guys ask me about.
Isn't he 3 hours behind?
I'm 2 hours behind you guys, so it's 7:19.
What did I say ahead? Sorry,
I know what you mean,
too many, which is one.
If you guys wanted to talk about like Mac prospects or like Sean Dolak or Kyle McCord, I could go on and on and on about those guys. But
love Kyle McCord.
But they say day 3 of the NFL draft right now. This is day 1.
Well, guess what, Mike? On Saturday, we'll be calling you, bro.
Oh, God.
And you can talk about Sean Dolak for an hour if you want to, while I sit here and watch.
Mike, you want to know what I said about Kyle McCord? I said that Kyle McCord is a better value pick than taking Shedeur Sanders in the first.
I think McCord went from being kind of under the radar to like being criticized a lot for when it happened at Ohio State to now being under the radar. What he did at Syracuse last year was phenomenal. Yes, interceptions are a concern. His mobility is an issue. But if you're looking for like a pure pocket future backup quarterback that could probably come in spot duty and eventually develop into something okay, McCord is fine. Like, he's not an NFL starter, in my opinion. Okay. But I think he could be a good NFL backup.
Okay.
Which is exactly what we used to say about Nate Peterman. So,
yeah.
I mean, Kyle McCord's got an incredible arm. He can make all the throws. He's super smart. I think it just comes down to like what you said. I think wherever he goes, it's got to be the perfect spot. And I think there's teams that if you surround him with the right talent, kind of honestly, I think he'd be great in San Francisco. I think with that type of offense where he could just dink and dunk and pass where he needs to go, I think he is absolutely a point guard, and he would be perfect in that position.
I don't want to say some Sam Darnold, but there is some where like you let him manage games, you give him the right guys around him. He could be a solid player, but he's still at this point, like you're talking day 3, probably at the earliest, maybe late third people start considering, but I think McCord is you're probably looking 5th round for a guy like that.
Yeah. I think a quarterback like McCord it's one of those guys that you have these types of coaches that are almost able to elevate limitations. Like you see Brock Purdy in San Francisco is a great example of that. Now, I don't think Brock Purdy's a bad quarterback, but Brock Purdy is definitely not the most gifted quarterback when it comes to arm strength or athleticism. He's a guy that plays really well in this game. He's a smart processor, and he does well. And it's the future I see for some quarterbacks in this draft that I think they're going to go to systems that really hone their ability and know how to avoid their limitations as best as they can.
Sure.
It's like I'm praying that the Rams get their hands on Shedeur Sanders. Like I'm praying for that because I think McVay is the guy that can make him look like a pro beyond a pro and actually get the most out of him, even though I don't think he has nearly the same level of arm talent as Matt Stafford. But when it comes to someone like Kyle McCord, that's where you got to get him. You got to get him in a system that's just going to be kind of like, I have the ability to use a lot of motion, free releases of speedy guys and scheme dudes open. And something of the, whether it's the McVay tree, the Shanahan tree, I think is where you could have him be a serviceable pro, but maybe not a starter. We'd have to see on that.
Shedeur's going to be interesting what happens. Because if he drops significantly in this draft, say he falls out of the first round, if you go in the second round, you're not a guaranteed starting quarterback going into your rookie season. My concerns about Shedeur is that he is – I don't want to – and these are generalizations, and I hate to say this stuff without actually knowing him. But
is this dude making the pick for the 49ers? Are these guys making the pick for the 49ers?
Are they?
That they show the fans every single time.
There we go.
Thank you to our men and women who serve in the United States military for your sacrifices to defend our country's freedom.
Roger Goodell looks like a Chuck E. Cheese robot.
With the 11th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Michael Williams, defensive end, Georgia.
He's cooking.
Hey, did I just do it again?
So tomorrow's lottery numbers. What do you got?
Dog.
You know what this show is about? This show is the Sterling Furrowh showcase, and then you're just showing the greatness to all.
I'm just getting lucky, bro. I've never hit it like this before. I'm just lucky. That's
I'm gonna
all.
call him Furrowstradamus now.
I'm just getting lucky. That's all it is.
Furrowstradamus. I love it.
I think it's good.
Furrowstradamus.
I'm just saying,
That's
man.
great.
Hey, man, it's tonight. We're just on fire tonight, man.
Oh,
Hopefully we can guess the Bills pick together. Because speaking of shit shows, the Dallas Cowboys are on the clock.
There's a minute left. The clock's ticking.
You know what's going to happen? You're going to get all the picks like close to right than the Bills pick, and you're going to get.
I'm going to totally biff it.
So you're going to be off the ton.
Do we think Dallas goes the other edge rusher
Matthew
here?
Golden?
Bro,
I was going to say wide receiver.
I have no idea what the Cowboys. I don't even know where to begin with them.
Well,
There's so many needs.
What's a Jerry Jones pick to you guys? Because to me, it's Omari and Hampton.
That would be crazy.
Oh my God, you might be on to something because that's all they've been talking about is running back this offseason in Dallas. But Jerry came out and said this week.
They need a wide receiver, bro. They need somebody opposite of CD.
They do.
Came out and said this week that he's got a couple trades up his sleeve. I don't know.
Picks in, so no trades happening.
This would be too early for Hampton, don't you think?
It would, but yeah, but that's why I said a Jerry Jones pick because it has to defy logic.
Yeah, man, there's so many ways they can go here.
I'm going to say it's in a batch of Walker as like the other edge rusher because you just lost Lawrence and you want to fortify your line and want to get younger while you still have Parsons, especially if Parsons leaves somehow and you don't get that contract done. Then you're talking about, at least having a body that could be a quality edge rusher. Yeah. But then again, like you need a running back because your running back room was bad. You need receiving help for CeeDee Lamb. But to me, like, they're picking in such a strange spot for the needs they have. And especially because Junty's gone, McMillan's gone. Like,
can they get another tackle here? I mean, they need help everywhere.
North Dakota kid.
Here we go, Ian.
Gray
Zable's a great pick for
Tyler Booker. Awesome. They took Tyler Booker. So they did go offensive line.
Pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Booker, guard, Alabama.
Yo, I'm loving the OL picks. Like, I'm loving this. This is amazing.
It's the best outcome for the Bills. Best outcome for the Bills. Tyler
Now you
Booker.
just need
Is that four offensive linemen so far?
Yeah.
Yes. And now you need, you want to get Zabel to go at some point soon and get Shadur to go at like 21 to the Steelers, and you've occupied some slots.
Okay, so this is a very interesting spot here with the Miami Dolphins on the clock. You talk about lack of direction. I mean, Chris Greer could be on his last freaking month of employment with the Dolphins. I mean, they're ready to run him out of town. I've even heard rumors that they could fire him after the draft. I mean, that's kind of where it's at right now. But you got a Dolphins team who, Tyreek Hill is a hot mess. You've basically said that you're going to trade your best corner, and you don't have a CB2, so you don't have a CB1 either. Your line needs a little bit of help, right? You got 2 edge rushers that you got last year, and guys working back from injury. You let your best safety, Javon Holland, go. You don't have much at linebacker that you can really write home about. What's the move for the Dolphins right now?
I think it's Malachi Starks.
Okay, so Malachi Starks here. Nick and
Javon Holland's gone. You got to fortify your secondary. The pass rush is already there because you have Chop Robinson, Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb coming back from injury, Zach Sealer on the interior. It may be Walter Nolan, but I think it's probably more likely they're going to go corner.
Will Johnson.
I was going to say,
they need to get rid of Jalen Ramsey. Maybe they go corner because they don't have a whole lot in that cupboard either.
I think it's secondary, and if it is, then they probably would value CB more than safety, unless they really think they need the general, like a field general in Stark. So,
but they also need offensive line help. That offensive line,
yes, they do. Yes, they do.
They could go Zabel here, maybe.
So Gray Zabel. I don't know if it's too early if they feel comfortable, but Josh Simmons, if they feel comfortable with that attitude issue that was off,
I'm gonna lock in secondary, and I'm gonna lock in corner. I think it's Will Johnson.
Okay, so that's
I was just thinking that too.
Okay, that's what we think they're going to do. Now, what have they done in previous drafts? They typically go offense, and they take somebody fast, right?
Matthew Golden. They went Chop. They went Chop last year, though.
They did take Chopper early.
So I mean, they'll go defense if they have to. I could see Golden just because if they give Mike McDaniel too much power and too much soda, and he has a sugar rush and goes for the fast receiver. But the savvy, smart pick for them right now with that
Malachi Starks would be nice.
Starks or Johnson, one of the two. And I'm hoping, Will Johnson, I never thought was falling to the Bills unless the injuries are really bad. Then if that's the case and he's dropping out of the 20s, I have some concerns myself. Starks, though, I love, and if he's there at 30, he's one of the, I know safety isn't the most immediate need, but I will make an exception for him because he rules. So I hope they go Will Johnson here.
Well, I hope they don't go Will Johnson.
I hope they go for a player that sucks.
Playing for a division rival, but I would love Will Johnson on the Bills.
Or Gray Zabel. They could just stay away from defense, stay away from things that, if everyone in the AFC East drafted an offensive lineman in the first round, I'm not saying it's bad for them because that still helps you, but it'd be the least like no skill positions, no pass rushers.
Right.
That.
Right.
Oh, if they take Matthew Golden, I like Matthew Golden. I don't hate the player at all. I think he's talented and could do well, but that would just be like the dumbest thing.
I don't think they do that. But that's something that it's in their wheelhouse to do, is to take the best offensive playmaker that you could possibly take.
Wait, they could go Tyler Warren.
They do have Jonnu Smith, though.
Yeah, but Jonnu Smith.
I don't think Jonnu Smith stops you from getting Tyler Warren.
I don't think so either. And if anything, now you fortified the Dolphins' speed and 12 personnel. Oh shit, that might be it.
Tyler Warren is what you guys are going to go with?
I'm going to switch it. I'm switching it. I'm saying Tyler Warren.
Okay.
I'm going to still go Will Johnson, but Tyler Warren is intriguing. Miami's an interesting team to me because you can pin a lot of their issues in recent years to Tua's injuries. How good are they? I don't what is Miami going forward? Are they a playoff contender still, or are they a team that's going to fall off the map?
Now, I will say this. The Dolphins owner is a former Michigan grad. He's an alumni.
So lock it in, Will Johnson.
He could go Will Johnson here, fellas.
Okay, I'm going back to Will Johnson.
Sterling just convinced Joe to.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there.
Listen,
the only thing I wonder, though, is they just lost their left tackle. So are they going to go ahead? Do they get, like I said, Josh Simmons? They need to replace their left tackle badly. They already know what happened to Tua. So, they could draft a tight end, but if they can't even get the ball out, it doesn't matter.
a little bit of a reach. Josh Simmons.
Well, we'd love for them to reach.
13. No, I mean, like, I would love for them to reach too, but just like that's drafting a guy based on a need more than drafting the best need / available.
Right, but then they go Gray Zabel. Gray Zabel at the Senior Bowl was considered the best of the week. I mean, he was legitimately, he worked everybody from Walter Nolan to you name it, anybody at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
I think I just think offensive line, like the Jets did it. Like, I just feel like the Dolphins know their offensive line is decimated. Liam Eichenberg is their center, which is awful. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like as much as they can go defense here, I feel like their offensive line is.
You got to keep Tua upright. And the thing about it is their season was derailed partly because Tua missed some big time games. And the smart thing to do will be go offensive line. That would be the smart thing. I don't trust that Chris Greer is going to do the smart thing best for the team.
I mean, if he doesn't think his job security is there, he might not be as bought into the long term, and he might compensate by going for a hyper explosive piece, which would give merit to the Matthew Golden or Tyler Warren. I think tight end for them does make a lot of sense though, like because they're basic. Like Anthony Weaver is a good DC, and I think he got something out of that unit towards the back half of the year. The D line is should be healthy, and I think when it is, there's talent there. Disruptive interior, good edge rushers. Chop had a good second half of the year and looks promising. They need help in the secondary desperately, but I do think they're a team that will prioritize offense because their offense is their bread and butter. The speed, the dynamic blocking. No. What?
I just saw somebody leak the pick, and I'm so sad.
You saw what?
Is it John A. Barron?
No, it's worse. It's way worse.
Kenneth Grant.
Oh,
it's Kenneth Grant.
Really? At pick 13,
bro, their owner is a Michigan alum.
Yeah.
So it has to be a Wolverine.
That's so heartbreaking.
Yeah, listen, with Zach Saylor next to him,
has to be a Wolverine, bro.
Yeah. Oh well,
think about it. You got a GM that you're not very fond of. This is an owner's pick right here.
Is this the most top 13 picks from a mediocre Big Ten team?
Excuse me?
Oh no! Don't do this.
Excuse me? Are you talking about the national champion 2 years ago?
No, 2 years ago they were a great team. But
who's your team?
Who's your team?
Last
year,
no.
baby.
Who's your team? We beat the national champ.
I'm just saying, my Ohio Bobcats won 11 games.
Oh, bro, you can go pound sand, Mike.
All right, so here's what I'll say about Michigan's year. Was it good? No. Did they get championship season is tainted forever? Yes.
Selection.
Damn it.
I'm just
damn it.
With the 13th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle, Michigan.
Okay, I'm hurting now. I'm hurting.
Fuck the Dolphins. God, I hate that franchise.
Someone had to.
Are you more upset because he's at a divisional rival?
Yes.
Or because he's not in the Bills?
Both.
Both.
Equally.
Both.
But he's with the Dolphins, and I have to watch my dog's career go to shit because they're not going to take care of him.
So now Warren's going to go to the Colts, right?
Think about it. You're going to put Kenneth Grant in Miami with all them big booty Latinas down there. Boy, he is going to have a field day. He's going to have a field day.
Be happy for him.
I'm happy for my dog. I need him to be protected at all costs. I don't like him out in the wild with
maybe this is what I'll say. Jordan Phillips' career arc, except better, but he still comes to Buffalo.
Oh God. I'm broken.
I
am broken.
I'll be real. I never thought Grant was going to fall to the Bills overall, so I never realistically actually thought of it as a possibility.
Okay, you know what? Thank you for bringing it home because we've all said it. Like the odds of Kenneth Grant actually falling to the Bills is slim to none. And I don't know, some people in the media, and we kind of bought into it. Like I'm biased, so I wanted him to play for the Bills. But realistically, you talk about the talent. I get it. Like it fits.
The reason I've been all in on corner is because I don't think anyone outside of maybe Harmon dropping will be that D tackle at 30 that we want.
Yeah.
So the only way the Bills get the D tackle that we covet is that they move up, in my opinion, unless Harmon drops. So I think we're looking at a situation at 30. You're going to have your pick among several corners.
Yep.
You might have some edge guys.
Yeah.
Maybe you get lucky and Starks falls. But I think a lot of this was hopeful thinking that guys were going to fall. To me, it's going to point to corner.
Right. And
I do not want a defensive end to fall. The last thing I want is for Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane to be tempted to take another goddamn defensive end in the first round.
Colts are on the clock, guys. The pick is in. I say they take a tight end, Tyler Warren. I mean, this is the easiest.
It's got to be
this
Tyler
is the
Warren.
easiest pick that you can have tonight outside of Cam Ward. The Colts need a lot of help, and they didn't get much out of the tight end position last year. You got Daniel Jones and the other guy kind of fighting for who's going to be the quarterback. I mean, it's really you might as well. Did Joe Flacco resign with the Colts too?
Nope, Cleveland.
No, Cleveland. Okay. So yeah, it has to be Tyler Warren.
Ian, go ahead, man.
With the 14th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State.
Two tight ends in the top 15.
Whew.
Warren.
I can't believe Grant just went at 13. All right, so Falcons are taking Mike Green. Actually, no.
Wow.
No, Jalen Walker's still on the board, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, so Falcons Walker.
Yeah, I think Walker goes to the Falcons. All right, Ian, you can cut it. Yeah. No, you're good. I'm still
Jalen
mad.
Walker to the Falcons.
Yeah, yeah. If you don't take Jalen Walker, what are you doing? Like, you need all the help. Oh, God. You need all the help on defense. The Falcons need a lot of help on defense.
So we are now at 16, folks. Or what are we at, 15? 15. We are creeping up in the Bills are within striking distance for a trade.
Well, the
okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah, the speculation was they're looking at Pittsburgh potentially, but
right.
I mean, right
if they were
now,
to go to 15 or 16, so let's just say for the sake of conversation, that's 400 points, right?
Yeah.
They could use one of their second round picks to move up to that and have no issues.
I don't like it.
The question is, who are they going to get that would be worth it? So, like, the one rumor was Jahdae Barron.
Right.
So that's a highly ranked corner. You have Will Johnson, who's still available, but obviously there's concerns about him dropping because of some other things. I guess where I struggle is if Brandon Beane truly only has 12 first-round grades, and if we all acknowledge that this is a draft that lacks blue-chip talent, especially once you get to the middle part of the first round, is it really worth giving up anything substantial to make a move up?
No, I don't think so. But we're not Brandon Beane, right? Like, he may have some strong convictions about X player. I at this rate, guys, I really do think that for the Bills, it's Will Johnson or Malachi Starks at this point.
If they trade or at 30?
If they trade up?
If they trade up, it's one of those two players regardless.
Yeah, I agree. Unless they stick with
both of those guys could be gone, though, too.
Could be. And if that's the case, then we'll obviously reevaluate. But the way it's going, I mean, you're looking at Atlanta. You know, I don't see them going corner. Arizona, I mean, I think they go Matthew Golden here. Cincinnati could use Derek Harmon can go off the board here. And
Walter Nolan.
Walter Nolan can go to Cincinnati.
I the Malachi Starks draft buzz recently to Buffalo. I understand that some of the people that put it in mock drafts today, I don't know if that gets me all the way over the top on him. I'm not going to pretend to be any expert, with inside information, but a few people that I do know with some inside stuff basically said the Bills with the top 3 picks are looking at a couple defensive linemen in a corner.
Okay.
Who knows how it actually plays out? Things can change, but to me, what kept this team back last year? It was the lack of, obviously Elam in the AFC Championship, but it was a weak secondary and an inconsistent defensive line that couldn't consistently generate pressure when it mattered, and they struggled against the run. Well, they're always going to struggle against the run as long as they're in the nickel defense. You have an obvious hole at corner 2, and you have depth concerns on defensive line. As much as I love Starks, and I talked to you guys, I'm totally open to that idea. I think we're going to get in a situation where they're going to end up taking a tackle in a corner, and who knows with the extra second-round pick where they go there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you could very well be right. I always, when it comes to insider information about the Bills, you have to hold it not suspect, but you have to hold it lightly because they don't let anything out.
Yeah,
they don't let nothing out. So it goes back to the point earlier. We have no idea what they're thinking. And to your point, like people coming up and saying, well, the Bills are looking at Malachi Starks. I go, to the fact that like we're Taylor Rapp. Like, are we really like he's not that good. He was okay, but he's in a system that benefits him greatly. You got to take a player with the most upside. So whoever that guy is, you got to do something. You can't just sit here and just take the safe pick.
How would you say Taylor Rapp was last year? Because I do think there's a little bit of variance depending on who you ask. I'm not going to pretend like Taylor Rapp is a Pro Bowl player or a top-end safety. But I think if you talk to most of the fan base, they would say he's the middle of the pack. He's adequate. He can get by. You can do better, but you can also do worse. And then you also have Cole Bishop, where you don't want to block his development. I like the idea of Malachi Starks, but he's probably a day one starter for your team. And then that brings up the question of, did you waste an early round pick on Cole Bishop?
No.
And is it
no?
I'm not saying I'm not saying you can't go with Bishop and Starks, but let's be real about McDermott and how he treats safety. He's prioritized experience at that position. I know that both Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde were not the players they were prior to Buffalo, but they both had experience. Then you go to Taylor Rapp, who's been in the league for 4 or 5 years. You go to DeMar Hamlin. One thing that McDermott has shown is he values familiarity with scheme. He values experience. That's what he normally likes in the secondary.
Sure.
I think they prioritize. I wouldn't say that because Hamlin started because Cole Bishop got hurt in training camp. Cole Bishop was getting reps with the ones when training camp started. He was their second-round pick, and they were anticipating him being a starter. He went down with an injury, and they went for continuity with Hamlin because he knew the scheme, and he stayed on the field. And the same thing can be said for Mike Edwards, who was supposed to play over Hamlin, but Edwards also got hurt. I don't think that has as much impact because I think they will take a player that if he has a high enough ceiling and freak athleticism at a position that they very much value, they're going to do it. And when it comes to Starks, it's the gravity of the pick because it's not just taking a safety. You're taking someone who can command the center field in one high, who can play the deepest part if you're talking any sort of C2, C3. But also now what you do is you open up the potential for Rapp and Bishop to play closer to the line, which is their strength as safeties. Not saying that they can't play deeper, but I think they're better suited to be more impact players closer up and run defense or as blitzers. And Starks unlocks that whole range of things you can do with disguising coverage
and tell me,
and having someone play deep.
I agree with all of that.
Who was the guy from Alabama last year that went to the Detroit Lions safety nickel? What's his name?
Wait. Oh, you're talking about Branch?
There you go.
Yeah.
Malachi Starks and Branch are very similar in terms of how you can move them as a chess piece in your defense. Let's be honest. Teron Johnson is getting I'm not saying he's a declining player, but he is getting a little older.
End of his 20s.
Yeah. And I think you need to hedge your bets here. And I'm just making a case for Malachi Starks. And Mike, I understand what you're saying here, but I do think there's a level of playmaking in the back end that McDermott is used to, and he does not have. You can't just say, we can't just be like, well, Bishop's that guy. We don't know. Like, Bishop has the potential, high RAS score. The instincts need to be there. So we'll give him that. But Malachi Starks, from an instinctual standpoint, is better than both the safeties we have right now, instinct-wise. And I think that bodes well for the McDermott defense in the back end.
Did you guys hear the Texans trade that happened earlier?
Yeah.
There you go, Jalen Walker.
Oh, okay.
In the 2025 NFL
Yeah,
Draft,
they had to.
the Atlanta Falcons select Jalen Walker, defensive end, Georgia.
It's been mostly par for the course, except for the Jags trade. But even then, Travis Hunter still went too. And Miami taking Kenneth Grant. I didn't expect Miami to go Grant there that early, but it made sense. But yeah, I think this is a no-brainer. Atlanta needed pass rush help, and they just had nothing. So this is a guy who can do it. And he stays in Georgia.
But again, did you guys hear the Texans trade that happened?
Yeah,
No,
Cleveland. Yeah, the picks. They gave up 2 5ths, and then they got like 2 6ths and a 7th.
Yeah, Texans traded 2 5ths for 2 6ths and a 7th.
Why?
But the one was a 20. So the Texans gave up a 2025 and a 2027 5th. They got all picks this year. So 2 6ths this year and a 7th this year. So they're basically saying we don't care about a 5th round pick 2 years from now. We're getting 3 picks this year for 1 slightly earlier pick.
Yeah, but the 2 6ths and the 7th, value-wise, is almost the same as a 5th round pick.
But that definitely is an interesting one. And I'll just say this. I'm open to the idea of Starks. Don't think I'm close to it. I do agree that safety is a concern on the Bills. When I'm looking at the Bills team as a whole, I think safety is maybe arguably the biggest question mark on this entire roster. When you look at Rapp and Bishop and Hamlin, I see a lot of average there. So Starks definitely is appealing to me. There's just always going to be that question with McDermott of, do you need to invest high-level assets into a position where you know the bare minimum production you are normally going to get is at least middle of the pack and passable? So it's one of those where, like, yes, we know Starks is better than all those guys, but does McDermott need to invest a first-round pick to improve upon what he has right now? Could he get a guy in the 4th round? Could he get a guy later in the 2nd round that could get him that slight improvement to where he needs to be, and then use the first-round pick otherwise? That's the counter argument, because if we're being real, a lot of, and I'm not doing this to discredit anybody in the Bills secondary, but you see a lot of guys in the Bills secondary who have the best years of their career in Buffalo, and that is not a coincidence. A lot of it is the Bills having a very good scheme that benefits their players and puts them in the best position to succeed.
I think I'll even do you one better, Mike. I think that the likeliest outcome is one of their 2nd round picks. If I don't want to say that, I want to say one of their day 2 picks, if they end up getting a 3rd rounder, also would be for safety, whether that's an Xavier Watts, a Kevin Winston, an Andrew Makuba. There's a lot of safeties out there that still make a lot of fundamental sense for this defense, and you don't have to do it in round 1. So, and I definitely think, the implication wasn't there that, like, you hate safety or anything like that. I can never think you hate safety.
Yeah, I love safety. Actually, I don't do mock drafts like you guys as much. I did one for fun with Trainwreck, but when I was going through, like, what are the possibilities, what I want to see happen, I normally got to safety with one of the 2nd round picks. So my thought process is, what is tougher to get? What is harder for the Bills to get? A good number 2 corner or a passable safety? I think getting a good number 2 corner is going to be tougher for the Bills to get later in the draft, or you're going to need to get luckier at that spot. Not saying you can't, because we see Christian Benford on the team, but the talent decreases after a certain point.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Gentlemen, I do have to run for the evening as I have an early day tomorrow, but I do appreciate you very much for having me on tonight. This was a ton of fun, and I hope that the next picks go by quick and that the Bills do the thing we all want them to do, which is one of 5 positions.
Joe, it's good having you, man. Appreciate you, dude.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on tonight, brother. And Hopefully, maybe we get some Carson Schwarzenegger news later for you.
I'll tell you this: if that's pick 30, and I like the prospect, I do. If they do that at 30, I'm going to be sick to my stomach. I'll find a way to root for the guy. It's nothing against him, but linebacker at 30, if there's any Trey Amos, Siobhan Ravel, even Darius Alexander, any one of those prospects, I would be so angry. So let's hope that
you don't like Amos or Ravel at 30?
No, I do. I'm saying if they take Carson Schwarzenegger over them.
Oh, gotcha.
Please, for the love of God.
Oh, my God. For a second, I was like, you just hated on two of my guys.
No. All those players I prefer. Just linebacker to me it's a position you're going to address the depth of for now and get a starter eventually, which you could make the case is the same thing for safety. And I like him. I like Chris Paul. I like all those players. But pick 30, we got to get an impact guy. And I think Starks has a way more of a case to be an immediate impact guy. And all those players I mentioned, even edge rushers, even if they found a way to justify taking Scorton or Princely, one of those guys, I could probably justify it. Or if James Pierce or Mike Green fell. But linebacker, no. But I'm going to bounce while this pick is coming in, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I will see you guys soon.
See you, buddy.
Have a good one, Joe.
So what do we think about here with the Cardinals? I'm thinking Matthew Golden. I feel like they need a wide receiver opposite of MH.
Nolan. Go Nolan. Walter Nolan.
Walter Nolan would be a great pick,
The
too.
Arizona Cardinals select Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, Mississippi.
There it is. I'm kind of glad he went because there was talk about the Bills, and I wanted nothing to do with Walter Nolan.
Yeah.
I don't need another undersized defensive lineman.
And there it is, Mr. Walter Nolan.
I felt way too small for his big ass head.
I thought the Bengals were gonna take him too, but it makes sense. They did get the dude from the Philadelphia Eagles, pass rusher. So you get your defensive tackle. That's a smart move for them.
I feel like Cincinnati's got to be Mike Green here.
Yeah,
got to be a defensive end.
Yep.
Especially with Trey Hendrickson and all that nonsense.
Exactly.
Is it Mike Green or is it James Pierce?
Nah, Mike Green here.
Or even Shamar Stewart. Shamar Stewart would be a great one.
I forgot about him.
Yeah. Super, super tradesy guy. It just depends. Apparently his agent's a pain in the ass.
Oh, is that right?
That's what that's the rumor on the street. Who knows how much of that matters, but I know.
I don't see the Shamar Stewart hype, bro.
He's athletically, he's a freak.
Oh yeah.
He has no production.
Man, that's man. I don't know. I'm a guy. I gotta see it.
Right.
No,
I agree there.
Walter Nolan, though, man, that's a good pick for them. I like that pick for them. They got their version of Ed Oliver.
That Atlanta ilk.
So
Cincinnati got to go Mike Green, bro.
If say Starks doesn't fall to the Bills, how is this shaping up for you guys at 30 right now? Is there a D tackle on the board that you'd be interested in? Obviously, Harmon is still around. What would you be leaning towards with no Starks? Would you be leaning D tackle? Would you be leaning corner? Is there another position, another person out there that would be your leader in the clubhouse?
Yeah, I think, as we get to 20, I think that Will Johnson and Jahdae Barron are your two guys that if you have guys that you have to have in round one if you're going to make a pick. I think it's those two guys, right? Jahdae, I take Will Johnson over Jahdae Barron, but Jahdae Barron's a cleaner prospect. So those are two guys for me. I think Derek Harmon's going to go in the second round. He's going to be available in the second round. I don't know when the run on defensive tackles is going to start in the second round, but right. So I don't feel the impetus to I got to get him at the end of round one. I think it's corner. I really do. So give me Will Johnson. I would love for them to trade up and get Will Johnson. That would be obviously I'm a Michigan fan, but I do outside of that from tape and analysis, Will Johnson to me is the best corner in the class. To me.
I do wonder with Malachi Starks if they're intrigued because not only is he a safety, but he's also a corner.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I don't know if you watched his tape. He looks like Trey White when he plays corner.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like almost like it's freaking weird to watch. He looks like Trey when he plays. So that, I mean, that position flexibility in the Bills defense would be ridiculous.
He's just a football player. Like he is. He's just like, dude, like that's a guy. He's different.
The one thing I'm worried is I really hope they don't fall in love with Nicky Manwari's athletic profile.
Yes. Thank you for
I worry about it because they lean more towards RAS score, and he is he's a titan, built like a freak. And maybe there's something that, you know what, at the end of the day, I trust McDermott. I trust Bean. I know they know what they're looking for. And if they see something in Nicky Manwari that they love, I'm gonna believe that they could figure it out. But I just feel like there's better safeties to be had and get a good corner with that first pick.
Don't you feel like that's
perfect?
A luxury selection if they were to get Nicky Manwari in the end of round one? But just because
I think it just means that Taylor Rapp is gone. But the thing is, you would have to play him you're not playing him in the box because Nicky Manwari is not a box safety. He can't play against the run. So you're basically saying, okay, you are Micah Hyde. You're playing that deep ball safety. And that's a lot of pressure for him. A lot of pressure.
And if he could come in and learn the system, you got yourself a guy. But I don't know if he's a guy from a X's and O's standpoint. I just think it's going to take him a year or two to kind of get it. I'm looking more for impact now. I think Will Johnson gives you impact now. Malachi Starks gives you instant impact right now.
Right.
Derek Harmon, but I think you can have him in the second round, gives you that impact right now. So
when you talk about needing to take a year or two, I think that's the biggest issue that Bean and McDermott have had with the draft. You're picking in the late first round where you're not talking about blue chippers. You're talking very good guys, but they fell for a reason. They're either athletic and maybe they didn't have the production on the field, or they had the production on the field and maybe they're not the fastest runner. There's something a little bit off. You're normally getting a starter or somebody that can at least contribute right away at the end of the first round. But the one thing about the Bills is that the way their roster is constructed, with them having such few holes, they don't rush guys into roles before they are ready. They trust their development. But I think sometimes from a fan base, that can be frustrating when you're on the cusp of potentially winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Seeing them take a patient approach. But that's also a reason why the entire team is consistently good, because they know how to manage development. And I think the few times that we have seen them really take leaps after guys that they really like early in the draft, those have been the times that they.
Here we go. What do you think of Mike Green?
The first round
that's my pick
of this draft. The commissioner enjoying the musical performance.
Watch him do something stupid.
I called it.
With the 17th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Shamar Stewart, defensive end, Texas A&M.
Nice, TD. Nice, TD. High upside.
Freaking nature, bro. That's a twitchy defensive end, man. You pair him opposite of Trey, who's just a bull rush. Whew.
6'5", 267 with juice.
That is a monster. What are some of these outfits? What the hell is he wearing?
Dog, don't ask me.
What happened to the days of like all the like nice suits, the clean cut look? Now you're getting all these fashionable weird looks. Brutal. Okay, now we talk Seattle, the Seahawks. There's talk about them being interested in a wide receiver. Obviously, they lost DK Metcalf. They lost Tyler Lockett. All they've got is JSN. You got to think maybe Matthew Golden is in play here.
Yeah, it's Golden or Zabel here.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they should be looking at. Now, Mike McDonald, former Michigan Wolverine defensive coordinator. You could see Will Johnson could come off the board here.
Will Johnson and Reek Woolen. That's a hell of a pairing right there.
So I don't know. Golden, Zabel, and Johnson in that order. Man, I'm surprised they took Shamar Stewart. I mean, it makes sense. I get it. But you still, I mean, maybe, their plan is to maybe fortify that interior defensive line later rounds because it's so deep.
I mean, maybe. My question is, are we going to see another quarterback? What's going on? I mean, Jackson Dart, Shador Sanders.
I mean, Pittsburgh with Sanders could be in play.
Oh, at 21. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Wow.
That would be the logical fit for him right now. You're not going to see Seattle take one with Darnold.
Amy says Michael Irvin is what happened to NFL fashion.
Ain't that the truth?
The playmaker. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
No, but I was going to say you're not going to see Seattle take Sanders. Tampa Bay, you got Baker. Denver, you just got a youngster last year. I think Sanders to Pittsburgh makes sense. If he doesn't go to Pittsburgh, you got to wonder where he goes. He goes into next year as a backup, and then Deion and Shador. That would be quite the situation. He might go into next year as a backup in Pittsburgh anyway if they end up signing Aaron Rodgers. But that would be quite the awakening moment for him if not only he doesn't go in the first round, but then he goes to a spot where starting in the future is not even a guarantee.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with Shador.
I think Shador is a first-round talent, but I definitely think, knowing the way the NFL is run, there's a lot of question marks about his character. It's not that he's not a good kid, but he grew up privileged. He has Deion Sanders as his father, who has been excellent as a player, an analyst, a coach, but he's also bigger than life. And so is his ego. And I think there's some of that concern that Shador might be a little bit of not a great fit right away in some locker rooms. And
to me, Deion's earned it because he is right. Yeah. Shador ain't done nothing.
Correct.
That warrants that kind of bravado. I live in Colorado and I really want to like Shador. I really do. But I'm more interested in quarterbacks who just are a part of the team and understand the brevity of the responsibility. Not that he doesn't, but it's just a flashy. I'm just not into it, bro. I want my quarterback to be all about football, not about being a superstar.
Yeah, and here we go. Here comes the Seahawks.
With the 18th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Gray Zabel.
Yeah, there you go.
Guard, North Dakota State.
So there he is, Mel. There's your guy.
I'm nailing these picks, bro. Nailing them.
Love it. Love all the offensive linemen going so far. Is that 6 so far, I believe?
Bro. This
we are at pick 19. Jahdae Barron. 19 and Jahdae Barron, Will Johnson. I mean,
let me ask you guys this. What is the gap between a Will Johnson and a Barron versus Trey Amos and Maxwell Hairston and Revel from ECU? Are we talking big gap or are we talking small gap? Because that ultimately kind of brings up if you would even consider trading up to get one of them or just wait.
Yeah, I'll tell you. And push all the medical stuff aside, okay? As the season started, Will Johnson was a top 5 pick, right? And I think part of the reason why his status wasn't reinstated because he didn't do anything at the combine or the pro day. But instincts, man. Look, dude, Ask Marvin Harrison what he thinks about Will Johnson. Will Johnson shut him down. Okay. Will Johnson's he's a shutdown corner. And for the Bills, he's a perfect fit just because, well, he could play zone all day, he could play press man. I mean, he could do it all. And so he's a proven NCAA champion on an NFL caliber defense that Michigan Wolverines defense was. Will Johnson's legit. And I know he didn't run or he didn't test, but he has legit 4.45 speed, right? But his play speed and his instincts really put him atop. So Trey Amos, I think, good player. You love the size, you love the athleticism, but you gotta, he's the guy that he's gotta fit into the scheme, right? Like what does Trey Amos? What's his calling card, right? Outside of the athleticism. Is he a guy that's dedicated to the X's and O's and learning the defense? I mean, I like Trey Amos too. But so yeah, I think there's, when you talk about like what's the difference, I think it's that, like,
yeah,
Will Johnson is an established guy, like instincts, character, football character, all the things. Like, he's clean. Now, the injury stuff, and he's had, and people want to knock on the injuries. He's had piddly injuries. Like, it's turf toe this past year. Like,
yeah, but the one that they're talking about is apparently a chronic issue for him moving forward. He had a osteochondral allograft transplant. They took a piece of bone and cartilage from his healthy knee and put it into his injured knee where the damaged cartilage was to try to promote healing. They're saying that 73% of the athletes returned at the same or higher level. And some didn't. But the problem is, I guess, what the flagging is, they're saying his is chronic, and that's what the concern is. That
okay.
That his knee
that explains
worse. That's fair. I did not know that. That's fair then.
So that explains him dropping right now.
Right.
So,
that's why Ben Albright and Daniel Jeremiah had him out of the first round.
And he chose not to. I don't know. See, that's where it's a risk. Like, God, that's tough. Like, you love the player, you love the film, but do you take
the Sabres had a situation like that with what's his name, the Jack Eichel.
Oh, we don't talk about him.
But but yeah, like it's knowing that, I'd be leery on taking Will Johnson. Like, I can't deal with a player that's going to be has a chronic issue. Like,
yeah, the last thing the Bills need is to take a player.
It's another guy with injuries. Both rap is like that.
Tweeted, we're at the point where a realistic move up could be in play for guys like Jahdae Barron, Will Johnson. He brought up Derek Harmon as a possibility too. I could see Harmon going in the first round.
Okay. All right.
I just worry about Harmon in terms of he has the highest missed tackle rate of any defensive lineman in this draft. He's really big, but the one thing that Jerry Ostrowski even mentioned is how high hipped he is. And as a one tag, you need to anchor. You need to be seriously low.
Missed tackles, he'd fit in the Bills perfectly.
Yeah, great. He's like he's almost 6'7". I just worry about how big he is. Like, and my thing is, I hoped, like, when I think about him, I'm like, could he be Calais Campbell? And that's awesome. Like, if he's Calais Campbell, you got a all pro for years to come. But
you know why?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, I feel like I like Derek Harmon, but I feel like I could get a CJ West. I feel like there's guys that I could get or
Omar Norman.
Actually, you know what? You know who we didn't mention? It's Tyleik Williams. Tyleik Williams is a huge. The Bills really, really like Tyleik Williams.
Man, from a run stopping standpoint, yeah, but like, where's the pass rush upside?
I don't think they're worried about that.
Okay, if they're not worried about it, then yeah.
I think that makes a difference, though. I don't. The Bills, everything they've done defensively in recent years is to stop the pass. It's not to stop the run. Their whole defense, as long as they continue running nickel, is going to have weaknesses against the run. What I think they need to do is have guys that can get to the quarterback a little better. So I don't think getting a run stuffing defensive tackle is really going to change much for the team. If you get Tyreek Williams and you wait to the second round and you get him with one of your later picks, I love that. If you could get a corner at 30 and then get Tyreek Williams late. What I'm thinking, though, is Harmon is one of the last few defensive tackles I think can be high upside, and then you could pair with a corner in the second round.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And I say Tyreek is, first off, I think he has pass rush ability. From what I saw, he has a ton of burst due to he just wasn't asked to do it at Ohio. Ian, go ahead.
2025 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Emeka Egbuka.
Ooh.
I love it.
Wide receiver, Ohio State.
Man. Emeka Egbuka with that offense. Whew.
Big
that's a lot of fun.
Of him. I honestly, had he come out last year, he would have been a guy I would have been interested with the Bills at receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So, stayed in college an extra year. Ohio State is wide receiver U right now.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yep.
Anybody that comes out of there, I'm gonna feel good about their chances of being successful at that.
Yeah. I do not like him
anywhere, them or LSU. Love it.
He's probably your cleanest wide receiver projection in this draft. I mean, he's clean. Like, he does everything well. He just doesn't do anything great or elite.
The Matthew Golden love was huge. The fact that obviously Tet went, but there was talks that maybe he would go above Tet. Now Emeka's gone, and he still hasn't gone to tight ends, and we're at pick 20.
He's good, man. I like him.
What do you think if he gets to 30? If Matthew Golden's at 30?
I don't think the Bills take him.
The problem with the Bills with receiver is you already have 4 players set in stone unless you get rid of Curtis Samuel. So that and 3 of the 4 are guys that are pretty much locks to be on your team for the next couple years.
Right.
You're not moving on from Keon. You just signed Josh Palmer, and you have Khalil Shakir to an extension. So that's the problem. Like, as much as we love, like, I love Golden as a prospect. I would love him on the Bills, but you bring him on and he's your number 4 receiver. Is that?
I don't know about that. I don't agree with that, because if Keon don't get his shit together, Josh Palmer can play the X, right? Like, but Keon don't get his shit together. I mean, Matthew Golden and him fight it out for the Z receiver or whatever, however you want to look at it.
But then you just destroyed a second round pick again. It's one of those, like, I'm fine with it. Like, but the Bills, like, if you're general manager, the last thing you want to do is basically admit after you just picked a guy at 33 overall that 1 year later, yeah, this guy sucks. I'm not saying that like, Bean's not big enough to admit that, but I think a more likely scenario is they draft somebody with speed in the 4th or 5th round and say this could be a vertical threat, or this guy can play a factor, and we'll develop them.
No,
the New York Giants are trying to get back into the first round right now.
Right now? Okay.
Yep. That's from Jordan Schultz.
Okay.
I could see a Jackson Dart being in play.
What are the Broncos going to do right now? Carson Schlesinger?
Get him out of the Bills.
Matthew, they need Matthew Golden. That's what they need to do.
Do they take Omari and Hampton?
Oh, they've been talking running back this whole offseason, TD. That might be – that might – but I've kind of cooled on Omari and Hampton. Like, Trevion Henderson is a much better running back. That'll be available in the second round.
Will he be in the second round for the Broncos? Broncos are halfway.
Probably not.
Yeah, if you like him, you might have to take him. And to be honest with you, who does Sean Payton? Who did he have in New Orleans? Man,
yeah, Kamara,
he had a stud running back.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a stud running back there.
Ingram, he had.
Yeah, he had Kamara. He had a whole litter of different guys.
Yeah.
So obviously, a wide receiver or a running back would be huge.
Yeah.
I wonder if they could go tight end too, but I think Mason Taylor's a little early.
Yeah, a little early. I think wide receivers
or Elijah Arroyo, but I think that's a little early still too.
Wide receiver, running back, linebacker are probably there.
Oh, I forgot about Shahad Campbell.
Yeah.
If Shahad Campbell gets close enough to the Buffalo Bills, if he gets close to 30, Knowing that Matt Milano has this is the last year of Milano's deal, and he's 32, coming off 2 back-to-back, basically season-ending injuries. The best will linebacker in this draft. That's tough, man.
That's tough.
Jahad Campbell and Terrell Bernard for years to come. That's a hell of a combination.
Right? You got a better take on guy with Jahad Campbell, but man, that's a little too rich for me, for the Bills there.
I just don't love linebacker in the first round. It's everybody talks about running back not being a first round position. Linebacker kind of turned into that as well. Not saying that linebackers aren't important, but ever since this became a passing league, what the Bills want at linebacker is different than what would be a great value in the first round.
Sure.
They like speedy, versatile, basically bigger DBs that can play linebacker. And I just don't know if you need to go in the first round to get guys the way the Bills play at linebacker. Terrell Bernard, 3rd round pick. Matt Milano, 5th round pick. Dorian Williams, 3rd round pick. If anything, the Bills have shown over the years at linebacker is that they don't value size. They value speed, athleticism, and they either hope you have instincts or they hope they can teach you. Some instincts, and to me that means you don't need to take somebody like that early. Tremaine Edmonds should have been a great linebacker in Buffalo and had the most athleticism out of all the guys they've had in recent years, and he was good, but they've had more success from lesser drafted players.
Okay, Broncos are here. What do we think, guys? Ian, do you want to put it up there?
Let it be Matthew Golden.
Golden would be interesting.
They can get a running back later. Get Matthew Golden. Stop playing.
Man, 10 through 20 has been slow.
Ain't it? Look,
Yeah,
we're at the place where we're showing midgets on the screen.
We were doing good pacing wise. Now that
bro,
it's
like
we need
dragging.
to get to 11. We need to slow it down.
3, and that goes back to 1971 is the most recent time.
Oh shit! I saw who it is.
A lot more than that. The Broncos pick is in, and here comes the commissioner with a special guest to make the selection.
Man, you ain't right.
Is it offense or defense?
It's defense.
April is World
Oh, wow.
War
Barron? Is it Barron?
And the NFL is proud to support the life-changing wishes that Make-A-Wish grants. Yes. One of those wishes will be coming true right now.
I wish this kid would get the fuck away from me.
Sam is a 17-year-old Broncos fan who has bravely battled cancer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sam, raise that fist up, baby. His wish is to announce the first-round draft pick for his favorite team.
Why do they keep showing the
Please
midget?
join me in cheering on Sam as his wish comes true. Take it away, Sam.
Let's go, Broncos.
That's awesome. Good for this kid.
All right.
Yeah, right?
With the 20th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Jahdae Barron, DB, Texas.
Love it. That's a great defense they're building in Denver, man. Such a good defense in Denver.
Well, there goes one of the hopeful drops, but still a bunch to go. Guys, I appreciate the time. I have to jump on my other stream, but appreciate everything, and let's hope the Bills knock it out of the park.
Man.
And
hey, buddy, thank you from chilling with us, dog.
Appreciate you, Mikey.
Yep. You guys have a good one. Let's enjoy this Bills pick at pick number 30.
Whew.
Oh yeah. See you later, buddy.
Yep.
Okay. So Jahdae Barron is now gone. So we're looking, man, I feel like it's gotta be corner unless there's a defensive tackle they feel. I just hope, man, like Dave Tilden from Cover One, he had tweeted out earlier that he could see something like a Nick Scorton or a Landon Jackson, and that would be the most disheartening pick. Taking another defensive end, who I feel like those guys are like second round players.
Right. Yeah. It's just not inspiring to me, you know?
No.
I don't know.
Especially if they pass up on a corner like a Trey Amos is there and they pass him up for a Landon Jackson. That would break me.
Right. Landon Jackson, just it's not sexy to me. It doesn't do anything for me.
Like Tyreek Williams, I can get behind because I've liked Tyreek for this whole time. I really think Tyreek can be a
and it's something that we really need, right? Like, you know,
like he can play one tech. You got your one tech of the future. He's a big boy. He fits that mold. He's not quite as big as Derek Hart or as Kenneth Grant, but he's got some beef, right?
Yeah.
Like I think it's a perfect fit.
If you're the Steelers, why don't you just get Shedeur here?
I just don't.
I think Mike Tomlin can talk sense into Shedeur and get him right. You know what I mean?
I'm not so worried about that, but like, is that really the best use of your? Like, I feel like Derek Harmon here makes a lot of sense for them.
Okay, hold on though. The Steelers never have a top 10 pick ever.
Right.
And they're always they win 9-10 games to get the playoffs knocked out first round. This is probably the best quarterback prospect at the value. You might as well take a swing. You got two good running backs. I mean, two good receivers right now.
I mean, it's not Shedeur because somebody's on the phone and Shedeur ain't on the phone and neither is his father.
Okay.
So, I mean, and the pick is in. So it's definitely not true. Shedeur doesn't even look like he knows what's going on. I'm telling you, I feel like Jack Campbell. Oh, Jahad Campbell. I was like, Jack Campbell.
They're going Jahad Campbell?
No.
Oh, I was like, damn.
I feel like Derek Harmon here they need a defensive lineman.
They do.
Badly.
They do.
I mean, they do. They also need a running back. Can you imagine? They get rid of Najee and they bring in
Omarion Hampton.
Fits the same mold, same dude.
I think it's a waste.
I mean, literally, both in up. Basically, like a stand-up. I mean, it's like getting like a Latavius Murray clone.
For them, don't take a running back round one. To me, that's like a waste of a pick. When you can there's good running backs all over this draft.
Yeah, but it keeps them just at 500, right? Like that's what Tomlin loves. Ian, go ahead, bro.
Goodell.
21st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.
You called it.
The Pittsburgh Steelers select Derek Harmon.
There it is.
Defensive tackle, Oregon.
You can hear the roar in this crowd. That is the surprise of many. And
He's a big boy.
Good move for them.
Yeah. It fits. Next to Cam Hayward. It's going to be he's going to be good for them for a long time. He fits. Yeah. He looks like a Steeler. And now we are on to the Los Angeles Chargers.
The Los Angeles Harbaughs.
Yeah. Will Johnson.
At this rate, man, the injury stuff now, I'm just like, eesh.
Right. Now, mind you, they did get rid of Poona Ford. Tyreek Williams would fit here. A nice stout defensive tackle that they need in the middle. Obviously, he knows Ohio quite well. So, wouldn't be a hard one there. Corner would be interesting. Asante Samuel's gone.
Right.
So, do they go out and get a corner to refill that secondary? They could use a wide receiver. Matthew Golden would be a great pick here. I think that would be Matthew Golden with Ladd McConkey. Like,
right. So there's 2 first-round grade players left for me. Will Johnson, Matthew Golden. Right. this is probably the part of the draft where shit gets a little weird. You're going to start seeing guys creeping in the first round that we all thought that were second round picks. I think this Chargers pick is huge.
Yep.
We know the Chargers aren't going to go running back, right? Because they got Najee Harrison. I feel Jim Harbaugh likes those ground and pounder guys. There aren't any Michigan Wolverines outside of Will Johnson that you would take at this rate.
I just wonder about Will Johnson's medicals. Is that
really
dumping people off?
I know. It's crazy. Damn. Trey Amos. Right? This sounds like Trey Amos season right here.
I really feel like we're getting to the point where the Bills are going to trade out. I really feel like we're getting to that point. Not a lot of defensive tackles. If Will Johnson's not there, maybe they only have a first-round grade on one of these corners. Maybe. Right? Like, is it Trey Amos? Trey Amos might go between now and then. You've got Minnesota could use a corner. Houston could use a corner. The Rams could use a corner. The Ravens could use a corner. Like, there's a lot of teams in there all could use corners.
Yeah.
And we gotta dodge a lot of bullets if that's what they want. There's also still our safety friend that we like a lot.
Oh yeah, Malachi Starks has a first round grade for me. So that's 3 players.
I would love Malachi Starks in this team. I don't even care. Like, if it makes sense and they want to take Malachi Starks and they want to put him back at safety, whatever. If they want to run him as corner just to get him on the field, I'm cool with that too.
Meets the value, right?
Yeah, whatever.
I'm at that place now.
Corner now and then move him back to safety. I don't give a shit. Whatever.
I'm at that place right now, TD. It's like, if you're not getting Malachi Starks or Will Johnson, trade out of the first round.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
like,
I'm cool with Trey Amos too. I think Trey Amos fits the bill. I feel like Siobhan Revel, or people have been saying Savon. Is it Savon or Savone? Savone Revel?
I think it's Savone.
I have no idea.
Man,
I don't know. These last couple of picks are just absolutely.
It's just kind of dried up. It dried up.
Mm-hmm.
The board kind of dried up now, and I can only imagine what Brandon Beane and what are they thinking right now. I would love to be a fly on the wall. I mean, there's no point to trade up. What are you going to trade up for?
I know,
right? Like, if you want to trade out of the first round and give it to the Giants, they want to take Shador. Let them take him.
I'm trying to see who's available.
If the Giants don't trade up to get him, he's going to second round. And then that proves that, you know, the draft pundits and beat reporters were right about Shador in terms of what NFL teams think of them. Maybe that Malachi Starks to the Bills does have some training.
Oh, you know who's still available is Donovan Ezeraku.
I think he's
still there.
Very underrated pass rusher.
Jahad Campbell's still there. Mike Green is still there. James Pierce is still there. Man, it's wild that they're all still available. Wild. Nick Scorton, Trey Amos.
None of those, man.
I do wonder. Tell me.
Okay.
What if Benjamin Morrison's health is good? They were at his pro day. If they feel good about him, Ben Morrison was a top 10 pick before his hip injury.
Sure. At 30?
I mean, he plays everything
you want. He's a dog.
Yeah. He can play man. He can play zone. He's sticky as shit. Great ball skills. Willing tackler.
I'm cool with that if you just trade back a few spots and get a third round pick. I'd be cool with taking him in the second round, early second round.
But what if you do at that point? Why not just take him? Why worry about even losing him? You know what I mean?
But I'm not worried about losing him. At that rate.
Why not take 62 and trade back and get a little bit more? You know what I mean?
You
like,
can look at it that way too, for sure.
I worry about, like, we've done this before. If you think Benjamin Morrison as good as he is, and obviously he hasn't gone yet, but there's only been one corner. Jahdae Barron's the only corner that's gone so far.
Mm-hmm.
If you think Ben Morrison is the guy,
I just don't know how high the Bills would think of him right now.
Right, but there's a lot of corners. Benjamin Morrison,
yeah,
Will Johnson, Savone Revel, Maxwell Hairston, Trey Amos. If you believe that Malachi Starks, the fact that Nicky Manwari is still out there,
I ain't fooling with him.
A lot of secondary guys available, a lot of defensive ends available. The defensive tackle market dried up real quick.
So teams had them valued a lot higher than what the general public had them valued.
And maybe, just maybe, Brandon Beane feels like he can get somebody at that 56 or 62 that fits the bill. And I agree. I think there's some good guys there's some good guys that value-wise at that position that I think fit what they want, which would work really well. Come on, Chargers, goddamn.
Omar,
do you really need this much time?
And Josh Farmer are the two guys for the Bills that I would love.
Yeah, but they're not.
And I'll take Tyleek. If they want to go 30 at Tyleek, I'm cool with that.
I wonder if they can get Tyleek at 56. I don't think so, but maybe trade up. Get a corner, then trade up, get Tyleek at like 40.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
My wife
boring Jim Harbaugh has got to be boring.
Yeah, Jim Harbaugh. You know he's got to overthink everything.
Jim Harbaugh is like a box of
saltine
crackers.
That's my guy.
He is you know what Jim Harbaugh is? He's like a church hostess, like those little plastic things they give you for communion. That's Jim Harbaugh. Boring ass cracker.
Yeah, well, I ain't gonna disagree there.
Yeah, boring.
Dude,
dude, there has never been a man that has been more prideful wearing a pair of khaki pants.
Yeah, I wore khakis today.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you wear nice khakis. This guy wears my grandpa's khakis. Get out of here. Ridiculous.
I mean, they took the whole 10 minutes and
really, I know.
What are you doing? Like,
goddamn Jim Harbaugh. He's probably in the bathroom taking a leak. He's so old. He's got to shake it a million times to make sure he's good to go. He's in there for 8.5 minutes. They're like, Jim, what are you doing? Who are we picking? Well, let me go through the list. Okay, Jim.
He's the guy. He's the same guy that says he'd drink milk and eat a steak for dinner. That's some weird psychotic shit right there.
Yeah.
Super
no,
weird.
he's the type of guy that goes to the grocery store and squabbles over a price that's already like $2 less than its natural. Asshole.
Why you hate him so much?
No, I don't. I like Jim Harbaugh. I think he's a good guy.
But yeah, he's an asshole for taking 19,000 hours.
It's 10:34 at night, and I want to go to bed, and this asshole's taking 10 minutes on a pick that doesn't matter. You ain't gonna win your division, Jim Harbaugh. Come on now, just pick a goddamn guy. Amy's saying thinking Sanders drop had to do with needs and father too. He himself has just been hanging out. I agree. Listen. And I said the same thing. First off, I don't think, and I have nothing against Shedeur. I don't think he's a first-round talent, or if he is, he's a back end. And I wonder how much of that really is because his last name is Sanders. If his last name wasn't Sanders, does he get this treatment? No, absolutely not.
Ian called him a Mormon basketball coach.
That is 100% accurate.
If they go running back here, that's the dumbest thing you could ever do.
Oh, I love it. Ian, come on. Can't hear anything. Omari and Hampton. They did it.
Dumbest thing.
Over 1,600.
Not really. They need a running back.
Touchdowns on the
I didn't even think about it either.
67
Yeah. Wow. I mean, they had what? Did they re-sign J.K. Dobbins?
I don't know, but they signed old boy from the Pittsburgh Steelers, Najee Harris. Harbaugh loves running backs, bro. Dang, you couldn't get Matthew Golden, like that to me was the better pick. Green Bay needs to get Matthew Golden. I don't know why they're still on the clock. I think Minnesota could take Malachi Starks.
You think Minnesota will take Malachi Starks?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, God, that defense is so good, too. What about a defensive end there? Add to that line. That line's already really good. You add a defensive, like a James Pierce, like a speed rusher. They've already got 2 very good defensive tackles. You add a James Pierce, and like if there's anybody that
they took the defensive. They took the dude from Dallas Turner last year.
Right now, you pair him up with James Pierce on the opposite end. I mean, and their coach is perfect for him.
I don't
right.
hate
Kevin O'Connell is perfect. Like if you're gonna take a guy that has some head issues, like a little bit goofy, Kevin O'Connell's the guy that you want to surround him with, like a dad-like figure. But again, secondary help would be great. I think they absolutely could use that. Obviously, I don't think they need a running back. They could use a wide receiver. It just depends on what they do with oh gosh, what's Jefferson's running mate that they talked about trading this offseason?
Dude from USC.
Yeah.
Jordan Addison.
Yeah. I wonder if they go offensive line too. They could go offensive line to help JJ. Running back would be interesting, even though they technically still have their running back from last year, but Travion would be a lot of fun. Give JJ a nice little bell cow back for the future.
Yeah. So for those of you who are watching, I think one of the reasons
the proud,
right? What's taking so long? I do feel like teams are trying to field calls for offers, etc. And then I think, because there's not clear-cut like value talent, we're at the place where you're seeing a lot of second round, third round talent available in the first round. And I think teams are really having these debates in the war room about who's the best fit, who do you take, going down their draft board. So yeah, I think at this rate, we're going to continue to see this kind of slow, monotonous kind of, thought out processes. These teams they're going to use all the time they got. To us, the Green Bay Packers need a wide receiver. Now, I don't understand why it's taking them so long to make a damn pick. You got all these Green Bay Packer fans sitting out here in the damn cold.
A couple of statements. Jim Harbaugh passing on Will Johnson, the player that he brought to Michigan, is a huge red flag. And then Adam Schefter, Michigan cornerback Will Johnson, has a knee issue that was concerned some NFL teams and helps explain why he still has not been picked.
Okay, just like you said.
So we'll see. Certainly a name, but Eagles discussing moving up with the Packers.
Okay. For what though?
Right.
They need defensive line help. You had an edge rusher go. Milton Williams is gone. They need an edge rusher. Izaraku would be, to me, makes sense if they make that trade.
Yeah, Donovan Izaraku would be, man, that would be really good. But I'll tell you, Green Bay, does Malachi Starks not just scream Green Bay?
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he just seems like a Green Bay safety, man. They also need a corner, too, with Jair being kind of on his way out.
Trey Amos.
Yeah. Long corner. I feel like that fits really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
Man, there's a lot of options here. I'll tell you, though, the teams that are really good, they're sticking to what's going on. The fact that Mike Green and James Pierce, both with questionable issues, still out there, still haven't been drafted, and we are at 23, tells you what you need to know. There's obviously some serious concerns with the background stuff. I mean, Mike Green, I even said, I think Mike Green could be falling out of the first round, would not stun me. Packers are fielding calls left and right is what I'm seeing. Okay, I like it. Looks like Packers are picking. They're shaking hands, unless they've completed a trade and they love trading.
Oh my God.
That is an absolute shit ton of people. That is unbelievable, the amount of people there. Can you imagine being stuck dead in the middle? Like, I got to go to the bathroom. Good luck. You piss your pants by the time you get to the bathroom.
Yeah, you're standing there with some nasty, smelly ass, sweaty ass,
drunk people.
Drunk fucker. This is like the most uncensored show we've ever had.
It probably is.
But we told everybody, look, it's uncut versions tonight. I took you from the thralls of Wakanda to midgets all in one night.
I'm glad you brought that up because I certainly do not want to get canceled.
Oh, I'll say whatever I want to say. I'm grown. I'm black too. They ain't gonna do nothing to me.
True.
Right? I can say whatever I want.
Yep. Oh, and Packers are making the pick.
Oh, thank God. My wife is like pissed off.
I feel like Donovan Ezeraku here makes a ton of sense.
Huh?
Ezeraku or Malachi Starks?
They can't have Starks, bro. It was saving.
I know. I don't want them to. I'll be really goddamn brokenhearted. I would love to.
This is totally shaping up to be like the doomsday scenarios that we've had in our mock drafts on the show. Like where we're sitting there, we're just like, "Fuck, what do we do?
What is there left?
What's left?" And it's played out that way tonight. Which is
you go up to dinner and your wife ate everything and she left you nothing.
Nothing. No consideration. Nothing.
No, my wife does that, and I love my wife and I joke about this. I always share my desserts with my wife. She's the worst at sharing desserts with me. Like she'll have something and she'll have it and I'll look over and she's on the last bite. And she's like, "Oh, did you want some?" Be like, "Thanks." And that last bite's like Landon Jackson. It's like, oh, fuck. Okay.
Oh, has?
Okay. Well, don't say it. He's coming up here. Here comes good. I thought that guy coming out, I thought that was Tucker Carlson. I was like,
bro,
there's absolutely no fucking way. That would have been so insane. You bring one of the most right-wing people. I would have died.
It up for first team All-Pro, Pro Bowler, two-time Super Bowl champion, and Packers president and CEO, Mark Murphy.
Oh, I thought it was Ted. Mark Murphy.
Oh, thank you.
Desserts are sacred. They are, Amy. They are.
How about this atmosphere?
To me.
Isn't it unbelievable? Roger, thank you and the NFL for bringing the draft here to Green Bay for the best draft in the history of the NFL. Right here.
I mean, that's I'll tell you, that is a lot of fans. That's like Bonnaroo.
On behalf of the Packers, Packer fans here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and everywhere.
Maybe just said, wow. Hold on, I'm interested. Okay, hold on.
It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the NFL Draft at Lambeau Field.
Okay, say the goddamn pick, Mark. Come on.
It is our honor and privilege to host this wonderful event in our community, particularly since we are the only community-owned team in the NFL.
Jesus, dude, come on.
Just out of curiosity, how many of you are owners? Yes. We also have the best owners in the NFL.
I hate this guy. I hate him.
And we
He's my
also
least favorite
want to celebrate
president.
the special connection we have with our fans that dates back to the early days of professional football. With the 23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, draft a wide receiver.
Matthew Golden.
Matthew Golden, wide receiver of Texas.
Great. We said that. We said that fucking 15 minutes ago. Like, what took you so long?
For the first time since 2002. Aaron Rodgers was like, those sons of bitches. He finally leaves and they finally give him a wide receiver. That's like the biggest middle finger to Aaron Rodgers.
My God.
He's gonna go on Pat McAfee tomorrow and be like, yeah, they drafted a wide receiver. I asked for one for every single year.
My God, dude.
They gave me Devontae Adams.
Aaron Rodgers. What a clown show.
Seriously. Ridiculous.
Okay, like Minnesota can't take Malachi Starks. If Malachi Starks is off the board, it's trade away, bro. Just
I know.
Give it up. Amy says, not who I thought. Well, We told you who it was.
Love is golden over and over and over. I love it. Amy, we appreciate you being here, keeping this conversation going, since nobody else wants to hang out with us tonight.
Right.
I thought we've done a very nice job with this production
Our coverage has been pretty good.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to sit here and wait for all these damn picks. The first 10 picks were fucking great.
Yeah. Yeah, we were cranking through this stuff.
I guess I'm gonna start drinking wine now.
I am not drinking wine this late at night.
Well, it's only
having a blister and headache tomorrow morning.
It's only 8:47. I don't have to work tomorrow, so
yeah, it is very late here, and I am very tired. So I need these next couple picks to just crank on by.
God. Man, the turnout in Green Bay has been impressive. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. They really turned. But Buffalo, we'd have more fans. We'd have more fans there.
Jesus, we'd have the whole city there. Are you kidding me?
I mean, they got so many fans in Green Bay, dude. They had to use the stadium as overflow. That's crazy.
That's nuts. I really wonder who the Vikings are going to take here. The pick is already in, I guess.
Get a defensive end, dude. Houston is intriguing to me.
I know. I thought Houston could take Matthew Golden if he got there.
Yeah.
Did they take Luther Burden?
Nah, I think
Luther Burden's tape was ugly. I watched some stuff. The tape they put out, it was just all in breaking routes with the same release package. I was like, dear Christ.
Man, he
Jesus,
could do more
talk
than
about
that,
selling
man.
yourself short. Holy shit. But I love Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden falling to 23rd is not what I anticipated, but that offense for Green Bay, man, is so much fun. They have so many weapons.
Yeah, good for them, man. They did the right thing. They took a wide receiver when that's all we've heard from the Packers this offseason was how much they needed a wide receiver, and they actually did it. So good for them.
Yep.
They didn't have to trade away anything. You saw little things about Cortland Sutton being traded there, and the Broncos trying to get more picks and et cetera, whatever. But the board presented itself to where they didn't have to make a move. I mean, if you're a Packers fan, you got to be excited about that. Vikings, I mean, damn, like you guys hurry the hell up. Pick is in though.
Crazy. I'm hoping it's Donovan Azaraku that goes to Minnesota. I'd love to get Malachi Starks. I think I'm
right.
Malachi
We're at that place
Starks,
now.
Yeah, Malachi Starks or Trey Amos or Benjamin Morrison. I really wonder about Benjamin Morrison. If they
You're
feel
a little
that
higher on Benjamin Morrison, I think most people are, and that's okay.
I think he's so good. I think
he's a dog. He is a dog. You know,
if the health is good, I'm telling you, if that injury didn't happen, he's a top 15 pick all day long.
What was his injury? He was
he had a hip injury. Yeah.
That's tough.
He did good at his pro day. They said everything looked good. So if they feel comfortable with that hip injury and he's good,
man, I still, I don't know. I mean, I wonder what the Bills brass, what their medical team feels about Will Johnson. I don't even know. Did they have any contact with him at all? Do you know?
With who?
Will Johnson.
I don't know.
Let's look at Twitter and see if there's any rumblings of anything happening. Oh, there's been a trade. The Giants are trading up with the Texans.
Oh shit. Okay.
Giants trading
Jackson Dart
$34.99 in a future third. What are the Vikings? Donovan Jackson.
The Rams are also trading.
The Minnesota Vikings select Donovan Jackson, guard, Ohio State.
What a great pick, man. What a great freaking pick.
Wow.
All right, and so there's the reaction from the crowd. Versatility is the
Giants are back on.
We know who the
Rams
Giants
are also trading.
We know who the Giants are taking.
It's got to be Jackson Dart, right?
No, it's Shador, baby.
I don't know. They didn't.
You think it's
Brian Dable? The interview with Brian Dable went terrible with Shador. I think from what
really?
I've read and heard, Jackson Dart is the guy.
Why would you trade up for Jackson Dart then? Like, I feel like you can
because they want to get ahead of the other teams in the top of the first or top of the second. Cleveland needs a quarterback. They could take him, stash him.
Okay. That makes sense.
You know, like there's other teams that could absolutely go ahead and.
I digress. I just never viewed Jackson Dart as a first-round quarterback.
I don't either. None of these guys are. Cam Ward isn't last year was not the number one pick. He was probably the fourth or fifth. JJ, he's probably alongside JJ, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe the fourth or fifth quarterback off the board last year.
JJ was drafted accurately where he was,
Well, no, I don't disagree with that, but that's what I'm saying. Cam Ward is right.
Yeah, he's behind JJ. Yeah,
Shador was not a first-round pick. Jackson Dart certainly not. Tyler Shuck is not. Right. I wonder if Tyler Shuck if somebody comes up for Tyler Shuck in the bottom of the first. The Rams have trading up. I wonder if the Rams are coming up for a quarterback too.
Tyler,
the Rams really wanted the Rams really wanted Jackson Dart, and I also wonder if the Rams really wanted Malachi Starks or Carson Schlesinger. A couple different guys in there.
Carson Schlesinger, nice prospect.
Yep, Giants man.
What they do?
You'll see.
Jackson Dart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, Shador screwed. That makes sense. Dayball at Josh Allen. I mean, not saying Jackson Dart's like Josh Allen, but he is a more
mobile strong armed. Yep. I'm telling you though, the Shador stuff is there's legitimate issues.
Real.
Yeah, man. I think honestly, these Nepo babies, man. Like a lot of teams. And the other part is, I think one thing that was worried is like Dion coming out and saying that I'm gonna manufacture who takes my son. And there wasn't that many teams that wanted a quarterback at the top, right? Or teams that wanted him because he's got limited arm strength, right? He's not one of the strongest throwers in this class.
Right.
He's got a good arm, but he's not.
Yeah, I think he's a good processor. That he could throw it in.
Right. But takes a shit ton of sacks, not very mobile.
Right.
Like a lot of questions there. And then on top of it, you got to deal with his fucking dad.
Yep. And all the swag and antics. Like if I'm a GM, dude, I don't want that for my quarterback. I just don't.
Right. And the other thing is, do you want to bring Dion in there? Knowing like all that circus that's coming with you? Like, nah.
I'm good with
And the other thing I'll tell you, and I said this earlier. If I'm a team, I'm pressing him and giving him as much attitude as I can in an interview because I want to see how he handles, specifically New York. The New York media is incredibly difficult.
Good point. That's a very good point.
And if Dion can't handle that New York media, Shador can't handle that, I don't want him. Because, it is, you're throwing him to the Lions right there, right? Or throw him to the Wolves, You want him to be absolutely sure that he can handle himself and not, and I guess the problem was the way he responded to some of these antics. Okay. Then you're not good enough for New York. Sorry. If you can't handle yourself there. And as a quarterback, you got to have thick skin.
Right. What the hell are the Bills going to do? I have a feeling they're going to trade out. I don't think they're going to take it. I don't think they're going to take anybody.
There's some good corners available. Malachi Starks is available. There's a shit ton of defensive ends available, which really scares the bejesus out of me. Amy, I think we are.
Yeah.
This will be the second year. God damn, Brandon Bean. I'm going to write a very strongly worded letter to him.
Amy's watching us from YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you make sure you guys like, follow, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to grow it. And for those of you who are watching, who have watched tonight, and we appreciate it. Like, this has been fun for us.
Yeah.
Good little test. Like, it's kind of like all the draft work and preparation. I know, like, that
Falcons are trading back up. Falcons are coming to 26.
What the Rams give up?
I don't know. It showed the Rams, but they haven't said what that is yet. No, the Falcons are moving to the Rams spot.
Okay.
This is bizarre. Man, that is a giant jump. Holy shit.
Jackson Dart does look like a little. Yeah. I don't know, man. He's got all the physical traits, though, all the tools, man. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. CD, what do you do? 30. What do you do, man? What do you do? Really?
I mean, again, it really comes down to who's there. If Malachi Starks is there, if Trey Amos is there, like, let's say Trey Amos, Malachi Starks are both there. That's tough. That's really tough. Because I love Malachi Starks, but I think Trey Amos is a day one starter at quarter. Now you have
the 25th pick
bona fide
to the
corners.
New York Giants. With the 25th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Jackson Dart, quarterback, Mississippi.
There it is. Now, who do the Falcons take? Who are they coming up for?
So the Falcons took that pass rusher.
Who did they take?
Michael Williams.
They took, Michael Williams, right. Trying to think who else they need. They don't need a quarterback.
They need corner.
They need a
defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Grady Jarrett's not with them anymore.
They could take an offensive tackle.
They need a safety. Malachi Starks could go here.
Yeah, I mean, they could take a tackle.
Josh Connerly,
Josh Simmons, both available.
Yep. The pick is in, though. Good for the Falcons.
Oh, if you're trading up, you know who you're going for. Wow.
What
the Falcons traded. Falcons went from 46 to 26, traded 46, 242, and a 2026 first rounder.
That's crazy, dude.
To get to 20 and gave up and got 26 and 101.
They
gave up a 2026 first rounder.
It better be Malachi Starks, bro.
Bro, that's a lot to give up
for a safety.
Yeah,
it can't be Will Johnson.
Holy crick. Wow. Bro.
What?
Bro, I love it. I love what the Falcons just did. I'm going to wait. I want you to hear it live. I want you, don't look at anything. Just listen.
I don't have anything
just
that's
listen.
Tell me.
Listen, they traded a 2026 first round pick for this. This is awesome.
Are they the dumbest fuckers of the night?
I fucking love it because he's one of my favorite picks. He's one of my favorite players. I love it.
Oh, God.
That's great. He fits their mold. He is absolutely a Falcons player. That's awesome. That's going to be a fun. He is perfectly fun for them.
I don't know who they're taking, so I guess I'll sip some wine as we wait.
God, I got to stand up. My hips are killing me. Just standing here. I'll show my super sick T-shirt. My 2020 AFC Division Champion T-shirt. Oh, man, my old man hips. Jesus. Okay. was the first time I stood up in 3 hours and probably ended up with a blood clot and die tonight. But here we are.
Okay, TD. Okay. We need you to stick around, homie.
Say what, Ian? Let's see where I'm at. There it is. Okay.
All right,
cool.
I'm back.
Move a little bit closer and put my legs up. Oh, Jesus, no, I'm way too far.
Dude, what's happening? This is just
okay. That's better. No, I'm 16 feet from the computer. Yo, I'm can't wait for you to hear this pick. You're gonna be like, there's no fucking way they traded a 2026 first round pick for this. No way. But they did. And they have. And it's way good. I can't wait for you to hear.
Dale's walking his drunk ass out.
Oh, dude, he's gonna be like the Fatlanta Alkins. Okay, here we go. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for you to hear this one.
The Los Angeles Rams have traded the 26th pick to the Atlanta Falcons. With the 26th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select James Pierce Jr., defensive end, Tennessee.
I love it. I love it.
What on God's green earth?
I love it. And I love James Pierce. You know I love James Pierce, but that is
But
bonkers.
for that?
They traded a 2026 first round for another defense. They now have two defensive ends, Michael Williams and James Pierce Jr.
For that?
Terry Fontenot's out of his fucking mind. Last year
He
takes
needs
a
to be
quarter.
fired, bro.
Last year takes
He
a quarterback
needs to
after
be fired, dog.
after signing Kirk Cousins to a 3-year, $90 million or $100 million deal. He then goes and gets Michael Penix Jr. in the 8th overall pick. Now this year takes a defensive,
bro, and they're clapping it up like they just did I just, bro.
Arthur Blank's like, where am I?
Thank
what are
God.
we doing here?
Thank
Who am I?
God.
Hey, what's your name?
Like that.
Same
thing. Same thing.
Yeah, same dude. They just took two defensive ends. Unbelievable. And I love Michael Pierce. I love Michael Pierce, and he has the chance of being really, really good. But I ain't trading to 2026 because you don't even know if the Falcons are going to be good next year.
Yeah.
Trading a 2026 first round pick for Michael Pierce.
James Pierce.
Or James Pierce, excuse me.
Yeah,
that's
bro,
crazy.
why?
Bro.
Why? That
you know what's going to happen, by the way? You know the Baltimore Ravens are about to take Malachi Starks and piss me the fuck off.
Oh, my God.
You know that's going to happen. They're going to have Malachi Starks and Kyle Hamilton, and I'm going to lose my goddamn mind.
Oh, my God. That's very Baltimore. Very Baltimore. Oh, God. We're hosed. We're hosed. We're hosed.
Disgusting.
Mike Green's still on the board, dude.
I cannot believe that's how much. I really can't believe that.
Damn. Wow. Will Trey Amos be the pick for the Bills? Probably.
I mean, it's a damn good corner. There's a lot of dude. There's so many options. There's so many different dudes available right now. It's ridiculous. The fact that Mike Green is still available. Like if the Bills really feel, I mean, I wouldn't do it after getting, I'll tell you, they won't take Mike Green after the Von Miller shit. They're not going to take another dude with domestic violence.
I'm good on that. But man, he's such an intriguing prospect.
Oh, dude, he's ridiculous. And he's got the production to boot.
I don't know, dog.
Will
I'd
Johnston,
be okay.
Josh
I'd be
Simmons, Mike
okay.
Green, and Jahad Campbell is still sitting on the board.
Dog,
I
I'd
literally
be
talked about
okay.
this at 10. At 10, I was like, oh, maybe if Jahad Campbell gets here.
I'd be okay with Mike Green.
In Buffalo? You know they're not going to take him. They just got rid of Von Miller, who had domestic violence issues. This guy has 2 sexual assault allegations.
I'm locking him in the closet. He ain't getting out for nothing.
It ain't happening,
Football
bro.
or sleep.
It ain't happening, bro.
Man, why guys got to be scumbags, bro? You know, it's just dumb. What do the Ravens need?
They need another safety. They need another corner because they got rid of the
Brandon Stevens and Trey White.
Yeah.
They got to go corner.
Yeah. Will Johnson here. Watch them take Trey Amos just to piss me off even more. It's gonna be Trey Amos or Malachi Starks. I'm gonna be so upset. Or
Savon Rebel.
They really could use. They literally only have their defensive linemen, Kyle Van Noy and Owe Adafe are both on the last year of their deal. So
Mike
defensive
Green
line could absolutely be in play here.
They could take Mike Green here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Will Johnson goes in the first round.
I feel like Nick Scorton makes a lot of sense for the Ravens here.
Izaraku.
Oh shit! I forgot Donovan Ezeraku's still on. Yeah, guaranteed. That's who it is. It's got to be Donovan Ezeraku. Got to be. Ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous. I really cannot believe the Falcons. They literally traded a 2026 first round pick. And again, I love James Pierce. I mean, we talked about this. I was like, I don't think James Pierce would even get to the Bills near the Bills pick. Not only did he, but a team traded up to get him. That's crazy. Insane. Absolutely insane. Amy, what's the reason for, what do you mean? I don't know what you're saying in regards to probably some of my rambling bumbo jumbo. I'm telling you, this right here, it's going to be either Donovan Ezeraku or Malachi Starks. That's it. It's one of those two.
Josh Simmons will be nice for them too.
Their offensive line, they had Daniel Falele last year. Isaac Somateo. That would be, or Connerly. They could use some help there on the offensive line. But I really think their defensive line. Why Campbell dropped? Campbell had an issue, an injury. Damn it. Shit. She said, damn it, which is not good.
27th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Malachi Starks, defensive back, Georgia.
I told you.
There it is, terrific safety.
Yeah, you called that one. Damn.
That's brutal. That is brutal.
Bro.
What do we even do anymore? I mean, the positive thing is they have Malachi Starks and Kyle Hamilton. Actually, I'm going to tweet this out.
He's such a baller. Look at him lining up in the slot. He's such a baller. He's such a baller. He's such a baller, bro. Ah, man, I'm just not sold.
I'm gonna get so much heat for what I just tweeted. I'm totally bringing some danger into myself. Oh, I love it, and I'm here for it. Oh, this is gonna be so. I'm gonna get lambasted for this shit.
What did you say?
I said the positive is, even though the Ravens have Kyle Hamilton, Malachi Starks, Lamar Jackson can't beat Josh Allen in the playoffs. I am gonna get flamed from Ravens fans so bad, but that's okay. And I'm even I'm tagging Ravens flock just for added measure because I want all the heat, all of it.
Man, Detroit needs a pass rusher. Man, I'm trading out, bro.
Yeah, I think that's the move.
Atlanta with the dumbest trade of the night. Jacksonville, I still don't like what they did.
Oh boy.
It'd be one thing if you were like in the 20s and you did that. I get it.
I gotta send you something. So hold on, I'll send this to you. One sec.
Did you texting or what?
Just look in your DMs.
All right. Oh man, this is just. Damn. Brother. My man's
Did you see what I said?
Chicklets.
I just saw you just posted that. I'm like, dear Christ in heaven.
Good.
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on
boy.
earth as it is in heaven. Holy shit.
Bite a carrot, my guy.
Somebody named Katie Pickles just followed me. Hey, Katie Pickles.
She hot? No.
No. She's very sweet looking. Katie Pickles.
I'm ready to go to bed now.
Okay, but Jesus Christ, it's gonna end up being a trade out. Bills are up in 2. Detroit. What Detroit's probably defense.
They gotta go pass rusher.
It's gotta be Mike Green.
Mike Green or Izaraku.
Yeah, if anybody could deal with Mike Green, but I don't know if anybody wants to.
I don't know, man. Some of these guys turn it around, and some don't. It's not like he's got a pending case, right?
I don't know.
What do you do? Buffalo, what do you do? I mean, I feel like.
I mean, it depends on how they feel about Will Johnson. If they feel comfortable about Will Johnson, getting Will Johnson at 30 is bonkers. If they really feel his medicals are okay, but that's the problem. If they don't, apparently they just showed the entire Ravens board on ESPN by accident. There's no way that actually
I
happened.
love for the Bills to get Will Johnson, but the medicals scare the shit out of me. If he can be healthy, you got yourself a blue chipper. Do you need it? Do you need that though?
I don't know. Oh, here we go. Let's see. It's either Mike Green or Donovan Ezaraku.
Oh.
2025 NFL Draft. The Detroit Lions select Tyleik Williams.
Okay.
Defensive tackle, Ohio State.
Holy shit. They took Tyleik Williams when they already have Aleem McNeil? What the Holy shit. Wow.
Okay.
That's insane.
Okay.
Watch them take Nicky Manwari.
Dude.
I mean, nuts. Jahad Campbell's still there. Will Johnson.
I'm not
Mike
taking
Green. Nicky Manwari. Donovan Ezra. It's probably going to be Donovan Ezraku. That's probably what's going to happen.
I think that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to take Josh Connolly.
Yeah, probably.
Washington.
What if, bro, hold up a sec. What if it is Carson Schlesinger?
Oh, buddy.
Bro.
I'm done. You take a fucking linebacker? No, dude, take it back. You can't do that. TD, is it leaked? Bro, I hate you.
No, it's not leaked. I'm No, I'm just trying to I am really toying with people. It's way more fun. I tweeted, what if it really is Carson Schlesinger?
Dog.
I hope. Oh my God, I would die laughing. Bro. I'm so tired.
Oh boy.
I'll be honest with you. I absolutely love Carson. And I think it would be a banger of a pick. I'm just saying.
I'm not cool with him.
Milano's 32 years old and beat up his shit.
I know. You ain't got to feel that need this year.
Take the risk on. Joey says take the risk on.
Get this
Will
right. Give me Will
Johnson.
Johnson. For my
Sanders memes have been kicked into gear. Oh, I'm sure.
But Trey Amos and Will Johnson calling a night, bro.
I love all this nonsense. The Giants quarterback room is Jackson Dart, Russell Wilson, and Jameis Winston. Lovely. The Bills are on the clock.
Oh my God. Dude, don't take Schlesinger, bro. No. Fuck no. I'd rather you take a punter.
Bro, I'm going to die laughing at this, though.
Hey, watch him take a running back. Watch him take Travion Henderson.
Bro. Right before they trade, right there, they hang up and they go, James, listen, you're being traded to Arizona.
See ya, bruh. Why didn't man? Somebody needs to trade for James Cook. Give us next year's first for James Cook. The Falcons trade stupidly.
The Bills are trading out, though.
Yeah, they're not picking, dog.
I love Nick. The Bills pod, Nick, who's hysterical. Have you ever seen his show? It's ridiculous. He's got 3 TVs stacked next to him. It's just bonkers. He goes, just had the same damn thought. Shock the world. Throw a boulder into a duck pond. I love it. We should do our show like this more often, just completely off the cuff, where I'm losing my goddamn mind.
Dog, this is.
It's entertainment.
It's entertaining as well.
Yeah,
But
certainly. Oh my
Mike
gosh.
Green, bro. Where his girlfriend at?
I know, right? Dear Lord. You know they're about to trade out, right? You know the Bills are going to fucking trade out on us.
Oh yeah, and you should. You should. I mean, if yeah, bruh.
Oh, Commanders, nice. Very nice. Josh Connerly.
Yeah, I like that. Kansas City won't get him.
And they traded. They already got Laramie Tunsil too.
Yeah,
they're really stacking that lineup. That's beautiful. I'm cool with that too, Amy. I agree with that. Go with Amos and get Milano second coming
NFL
tomorrow.
Draft, the
I like that.
Washington Commanders select.
Okay, I'm not looking at my phone now.
Jr., tackle, Oregon.
Love it. Okay, nobody put it in the chat. Let's wait till it comes up. I want to hear it together if they don't trade out. But at this point, you might as well trade out. See if you can get Chicago's 2 picks. Give them 62 and get 39 and 41 and give them 30. Get 39, 41, 52 or 56. And then maybe like a sweetener or something like that.
Does Philly want to move up?
No. 2 picks? What are you gonna get from them?
Well, shit,
A 7th? You're gonna get an 8th round pick?
Maybe they want Mike Green.
Maybe. Did my screen just freeze?
Give us a 3rd.
Oh yeah. What the fuck? Hold on, I gotta restart this. Okay. There we go. The Bills are on the clock.
Oh boy.
Jesus Christ, 11:23.
Bruh, this is
after the Bills pick. I'm going to bed. I am tired as all
Oh
shit.
yeah. I'm
should have done it a while ago. Yes, go to bed. I agree, Amy. I love everybody standing in the living room with their phones out. You guys are videotaping the TV screen when you literally can just
great observation.
Go and get the video offline. You're taking a video of a TV. Absurd. Jahad Campbell, Nicky Manwari, Will Johnson, Mike Green, Jesus Christ, Donovan Azaraku, Maxwell Hairston. Can you imagine if they said shit, screw it, and they took Burden? I hope they don't. 5 minutes. They've been here all this time and they haven't chosen yet, and they've got 5 minutes. They take Sanders. They wouldn't take a quarterback. What are they going to take?
What this means is they're picking,
or they're waiting to figure either that, or they're figuring out if they can get a trade.
Don't take Schlesinger. No. I refuse to look at my phone.
You know what's crazy is that all 4 of the big defensive tackles went before the Bills even had a chance.
Oh yeah.
Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Derek Harmon, and Tyleek Williams all went.
The Bills are making a pick.
Yep, Bills are making a pick.
Oh my God. I'd be okay with Will Johnson or Trey Amos. Outside of that, nope. They'll probably go Izaraku. I'd be cool with that. They need a pass rusher with some upside. Oh, they stayed and picked at 30, bro.
Oh, Benjamin Morrison. I forgot about Ben. Yo, if they take Ben Morrison, that'd be amazing. I'd be so happy.
I'm not looking at my phone. People are calling me right now, and I can't talk. No. Bruh. We waited all this time for this. Like, dog, if it's Carson Schlesinger, bro, I'm done.
It's probably not, though.
I'm done. Make it make sense. Just make a pick that makes sense. You better not go Omar Norman Lott. I'll fucking lose my mind, dog.
This freaking takes forever.
What?
So how
Bro,
you got to be able to
you know the pick?
defensive side of the ball where they can turn the football
I don't.
over.
I have no
give
idea.
Josh Allen one more possession. Give him one more crack at the football.
And we can see the commissioner making his way to the podium with a very special visitor to announce the pick.
The NFL is stepping up to have an even greater impact
Oh, look.
as a wish maker for Make-A-Wish. For the second time tonight, we have the opportunity to grant a wish for a deserving young man to announce the first pick for his favorite team.
The Buffalo Bills.
Tommy.
The Buffalo Bills. Yeah, Tommy.
Tommy is a 16-year-old living with a neuromuscular disorder, is a huge Buffalo Bills fan, and he's here with me to make the announcement for his beloved Bills. Go ahead, Tommy.
Hi.
Let's go, Buffalo! With the 30th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Maxwell Harrison. Let's go!
There you go. Nice corner. Love it.
Let's go, indeed. Cornerback out of Kentucky who ran the fastest 40.
There it is. Maxwell Hairston. Love it. What are you thinking, Sturls? I love it. Fastest corner at the draft or at the combine.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's a
The Chiefs and the Eagles just flipped picks.
He's a feisty son of a bitch. Fast. I mean, we answer the speed dynamic on defense. Corner, first round corner. I like it. Okay, so you got one of the big needs. You got it out, right? We don't have to worry about Trey and Dane Jackson. Like, you got your guy that should start day one.
I love it.
And he's a burner too. I don't know his off the field stuff. Didn't he have some shit?
No.
Okay.
He was clean.
He's a little small, but good in zone. Man could play zone.
Mm-hmm.
He could play man too.
5'11", 185. It's not bad. Love it.
I think that's a really good pick. I think it's a really good pick. That's a good pick. You know, you're not taking Will Johnson with question marks about his health. He's a ball hawk, right? I think it's a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he can have an impact similar to Quinyon Mitchell from last year. That'd be nice. But now you got two really good corners, man.
Yep. You got your lockdown corners for the next however many years.
Yep. Yep. Gets
Love
learned
it.
from Trey White. I think that's a really smart pick.
All right, buddy. It
All
is
right, man.
11:30. Let's call it, guys. For everybody who watched tonight, for hanging out with us, we have been live now. Jesus Christ, I don't even know, like 4 hours, 3 hours. It's been a while.
Yeah.
We've been live for, actually, no, it'll be 4 hours basically in a few minutes. Really appreciate it. And, you know, maybe we'll do this again. Amy, thanks for hanging out with us all night. Joey, whoever else is in here, really appreciate you guys. We'll make sure that you subscribe and like, rate, review. Let us know what you guys thought about the show tonight. The hangout, the live reaction. On behalf of myself and Sturls, I want to thank Mike Bundt and Joe DeRosa, who came, and Ian for all the incredible work on the backstage, man, pulling all this shit together. Sturls.
Hey, man, Maxwell Harrison's the Buffalo Bill. The Bills have a few picks tomorrow. Let's see what else they do. I'm sure there's going to be lots of analysis about the selection you're going to see tomorrow. I'm not sure. I mean, I'll probably have stuff to do tomorrow with the family, so we'll see. TD, I don't know what you plan on doing, but either way, man, we'll keep you locked and loaded right here. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to the Charge Podcast and the Buffalo Media Network, and we will see you later. Go Bills.
See it. Go Bills.
Hot on the mic, bringing it straight from Western New York to the world. This is Charge with Thomas and Sterling. Bills Mafia, stand tall and proud. We got this.